forgot to start recording, so I'll start. There we go. Sorry about that. Good call. All right. So you're in there, and yeah, what's everyone else doing? I mean, it sounds like you guys won some quick money, and
I see
actually,
Jack's eyeballing the, I guess, marketplace. Gonna
yeah.
see if he can find himself a blacksmith as well as some guy to trade off his wares.
You also hear, as you turn even towards the marketplace, you start to take in some of the sights and the smells of it. And there's an area where, fresh meat is being cut, butchered, and there's this smell of blood as you hear a little scruffy middle-aged man just, with a standing nearby with a wooden cart. And he's just on a little street stall, and he's got these caged chickens all around him, and he just chopped one of their heads off on a slab with a huge kind of scimitar-like blade. And he goes, "Fortunes, fortunes, read your fortunes for 5 silver." And then he just basically, he's like, "Results guaranteed." And then you see him, someone else asking him a question, and he starts to dig through the chicken, and he starts to pull out these entrails and lay them out, and he starts talking to the person like he's reading their fortune with bloody hands.
Jack sees this. That is the most funkiest way I've ever seen one read a fortune in my life. And I've been around places. That has to be the weirdest way someone can read a fortune.
Past him, you see,
the blood.
Yeah, exactly what he said. Beyond the man, if you're not interested in that, lies carts, people selling both, very fresh produce, others selling weapons, pots. There's a man selling like fine linens and clothes and what looks like adventuring gear. And then there, all the way at the end, there's an open space on the opposite side from where all the other guys you saw. Actually, I would say closer to actually where you saw those guys training. There's a different area where the guys who are chaining are wearing shackles. And there is a man sitting, older man, olive skin and long white beard. He's sitting under a bit of a tent like shades, and he's eating an apple. And he's wearing fine rings and fine gauntlets of gold. And in front of him are beautiful weapons that seem fit for gladiators. And then a cage behind him with mostly only men who, a couple of females fighters, all of different, mostly human. It's like one centaur, and they appear to be slaves, like gladiatorial slaves. So yeah, you got a number of different things in the marketplace going on.
Let's see here. Jack's got. Let's see. He's got.
I want to ask Elsie.
So-
Do you have family here?
Yes, I have my mother and father.
And that's not the first people will go visit, or like, what are your plans?
Well, I have to give a report to the general. It's kind of urgent, but we could wait a day.
I mean, is this the best place to regroup if we were going to break apart and then come back in the evening? Because you said that, what did you say, Calix? We'll meet under Ironis' statue?
Yep. Under Ironis' statue, around sundown.
That is a solid place, but this area will always be crowded. If you want, we can go to my house. Or my parents' house.
I'm curious, like, we're still in tow with the wagon and horse, right?
Mm-hmm. Got your wagon. You guys got your wagon, your horse. Actually, I didn't put your horse there, but your horse is there. And then you've got that big amphora that you took from the Minotaur King, and then the blades that Jack is supposed to sell. Yeah.
Let's see, I know you're separate merchants, but if you want to save some coins, because if you do want to set up a store, you will need permits. So we can head to the city hall, or whatever it's called.
As much as I would like to set up a store, I'm much more of a trader rather than a merchant. I do claim myself as a courier, but much rather I am a man who makes connections. As I don't really have much to sell. I more or less am here to make connections with people, and maybe see what I can make out of these. He hangs up these the snake fangs he got off the giant two-headed snake, and see what I can make out of these.
Well, if you look around, people aren't really trading here. It is selling or buying. So this is not the best time for that.
I wouldn't say I'm interested in trading. I'm more or less.
And at that
selling it
moment,
and-
there's a guy who's sitting off the side, and he like puts a sign out that says "Sell, Trade, Sell, Buy, Trade."
So, I mean, Alcides, how long do you envision us staying here? You feel like we're going to stay here for the full 30 days? Because what I'm curious is maybe we should look for a residence that could support our horse and all our wares for the next 30 days.
As much as I would like to stay here
There
for-
are local stables as well nearby. No, I'm not showing a map, folks, but there's in the center of town, there's like places to stay, like taverns and inns. Then there's like a local stable where you can pay to hold your horses. But then you also have a great idea. You could go to Alcides if Alcides' family is willing to take you. There's a number of things you guys can do.
I mean, do you have space for all of this stuff? Do you think your family does, Alcides? I mean, I don't want to offer that up. I'm more curious, like how long he thinks we're going to stay here and if we should look for lodging.
Oh, I think we should stay the 30 days. And Atreus is like, he's like tossing up the coins that he just won. He's like, I think that would be a great idea.
As fun as that sounds, I'm actually quite on a deadline here. If I don't report back to that Minotaur, I'm afraid that might come back to bite me. And I do not wish to have any, let's just say, loose ends.
Well, Mr. Atlas, you know what? How about since I'm a salesman, we're both in sales. How about we team up on this selling these weapons?
Wonderful idea.
There's plenty of places around. I think we could.
Wonderful idea. Plus, I can go look for a blacksmith. I've been meaning to look at what exactly I can make out of these fangs.
Yeah, let's how about we do this? How about we find out some of the prices and we make ours a little more competitive to these gladiators signing up for the games. Maybe we offer them at a bit of a cheaper price.
Yes, but if anything, how exactly would we know the quality of the wares? How exactly would we know? I'm not much for weapons here. I'm much more of a fist type of guy. Punch and kick and that sort of thing. I'm not much of a weapons expert. How much do you know about weapons?
I'm in clothing and armor. Not much. Maybe Alcides. Do you know a nice? You might be able to tell the quality salesman and blacksmiths versus your run of the mill.
Run of Minnesota. See what's around here, see what exactly the average pricing for swords are, and see if we can get a good grasp on the quality here.
Yes, good idea.
Let's try and get a good grasp of the goods at play here before we go and put our hat into the ring.
All right, beauty before age. He leads has you to lead the way. Atreus, he's like 100 years old. I don't know if I said that, but that's like midlife for him is 100. So he's pretty
I guess Jack's kind of young compared to you.
Yeah.
What age do I have him at? Oh yeah, no, Jack is 50. He's in his stride, but he's getting a bit older. He's
Wait,
a
how
bit
old
older
is
fellow.
Alcides?
Alcides is 25.
Jesus.
All right, I'm not the youngest. I was like, Calix is around 30, but honestly, you probably wouldn't be able to tell.
Sorry, I literally missed like the last 2 minutes of conversation when you saw my thing. I got like almost got booted. I lost like everything, and then I came back. So it
They were
sounds like
just
you guys made
discussing
some
the plans
decisions,
and
though.
stuff.
Yeah. So
We won the games.
We're not wanted criminals of the town.
and you guys also don't realize that when even if you were to stay, even if you decide to stay for 30 days, that doesn't mean in D&D time we're going to play every single 30 days out in real time. Like time's going to march on. Just know that. So yeah, I just gotta just look. Really, you guys are getting a chance to set the general tone for what you all are up to. You know, initially to get things kind of going. Yeah. Anything further?
Yeah.
So I think that if you guys are going to go check out the merchants, I'd like to take the vase and maybe find somebody in town here that can kind of take a look at it for us, kind of tell us what it
I'm thinking
is.
to a Minotaur or something. Don't they have like some sort of, I don't know.
Well, I'm thinking somebody a little more sagey. And so, Alcides, I don't know everything about your culture. I guess that's why I'm here to learn. But a couple of things that I hope to find out is: are there druidic circles around here? Like, are there people to talk to, or are you guys kind of like the anti-religion, live by the sword?
I'd say almost no one in Theros is anti-religion.
Okay.
I don't know if they are the best to be, as their culture is probably not centered around nature as much.
Closest would be the oracles.
Yeah, maybe the oracle. So maybe seeking out an oracle to speak with would be your best bet. Those oracles that commune with those gods of nature.
If you're interested, I saw a fortune teller over there in the stalls.
That's actually what I'm thinking to speak to. But how big is this vase? Is it something that I can carry?
It's pretty large. An entire like Alcides could try to fit inside of it. So it's not like something you just lug around without it on the cart. It was being lugged by the Minotaur because he had it like strapped around. Otherwise, like you can carry it, but you
I guess can a human carry it? What I'm assuming is maybe I'll go get one of those fighters over there in the cage and rent them out for the day.
Okay.
So are any of you guys opposed? Like if I take this vase and kind of get some
Jack just
intel on
sort
it?
of lets you go. Like you do you.
It's a good idea. Yeah.
I'm curious as well what exactly this significance of this vase is before we decide to do anything with it.
So what I'd like to do, and so you said that there might be oracles here, Alcides. So just getting the intel from him, what I might do is I'll go over and I'll approach the guy that has the rings and such.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm assuming he's a slaver.
Mm-hmm.
And just ask what he's looking to get for a day's rate.
Well, sir, I typically only sell my strong-bodied men for the games or for combat, whereas where I think that they find glory.
What about for protection?
But if you for protection, I could see that. This is you. So you're looking for something permanent.
Nothing permanent, just for maybe a day or two of as I venture through Akros.
Fine. I guess I could do 30 gold pieces for a day. My lowest, points at a young man and is maybe 17, 18. He goes, the youngest there. And you watch a couple Iroan guards walk by and they kind of frown and look down on the slaver. You can tell that's not something that it's popular within the culture, but you know that because the gates are open, kind of it's all the different cultures are here. So, and so he goes, yeah, the young man for 100 gold coins if you'd like him to, travel with you permanently. So, yes, is that what you'd like to do?
So do they look like they're from this area? Can I even tell?
They look like humans from all over. all different, shades and tones. Their skin, mostly though, just you could tell that they've lived in, they've kind of been on the road. They've kind of been traveling, so they don't seem, they seem to be decently put together, fed. He's not necessarily showing any cruelty right now, but it's still, of course, yeah, it's an act. He's an active slaver, and so you hear through the people don't always. It's it's not any legal practice, but it's somewhat frowned upon.
Just like to point out, in actual Greek, Sparta was a huge fan of slaves, and that's why they were so militaristic, was to prevent any slave uprising.
For sure.
100's pretty steep. Is there something you would accept in trade?
Oh no, he said 30 for the day, 100 if you were keeping the lad to work with you. Yeah, just trying to play that down a little bit more and make some of the cultures a little bit more not really like lean into that.
Do I have the option to purchase him if he satisfies my needs for the day?
Yes, that's doable.
Okay. All right. I'll give him the 30.
All right. And so as you hand him the 30, he looks over and he notices that on the cart there is a couple of blades, and you see on his tables, and he's on his, he's got blades laid out and shields. Is your man there looking to make any trades or purchases? I have fine weapons here, if so.
Perhaps. I'll let them know and send them over.
Sounds good. And he goes up. And he calls over for the young boy. And Priam comes over. He goes, yes, sir. You can tell he's tired from practicing over there. And he goes, you'll accompany this man. Do as he says. You're his for the day. Hard labor, I appear. Help him out, tend to his needs. And then it's like, all right. So he kind of walks over to you and short bow, wearing kind of a loincloth, and he's ready to go in his sandals.
All right. So then I'll go back to the group and let them know that the slaver is interested in potentially the wares that we're carrying, and if you'd like to talk with them. And then I'm going to take Priam, what's his name?
Priam. Mm-hmm.
And ask him to grab the vase and then move towards the fortune teller.
Okay. He's like, okay, where'd you get this thing? And then he picks it up, starts to walk with it, takes it over, and then you hear fortunes, guaranteed. The crazy old man as you approach him. And the boy Priam puts it down in front of him as Siljan approaches.
I ask him what he can tell me. It's 5 gold, right?
5 gold.
5 silver.
5 silver.
5 silver.
5 silver.
Yeah. So, he'll take the 5 silver if you pay him that.
Yep. And ask him what he can tell me about it.
So he. Give me 1 second. He looks over it, and then he takes some of the entrails that he's just kind of from the last chicken. He doesn't kill a new chicken. He starts to kind of rub them around while he's looking at the vase, and then let me get a roll here. Dice are not together, but they should be. All right. He says, the vase tells me that this is from a lost human culture, and that Minotaurs appropriated it for their needs. telling the story of a great king, though the Minotaur that owned it was delusional. A new opportunity is just around the corner, although it may come in an unusual form. If you act boldly, it may turn out to be quite lucrative. There you go, fine sir. And he puts his hand out as though like he's done, and he's got a bloody hand full of chicken.
All right, so then we'll take the vase back and put it onto the cart, and I think.
Can I have an insight check from you,
Insight.
Siljan?
Sure. 20. 18.
All right. So as you're having Priam put it back on the cart, you start to look, because remember I described like it had all those like etchings, like carvings and like minotaurs on them, and they kind of like told this like story around. You start to look closely, and maybe it's the first time you've had a really good look at it in the sunlight. You can see that someone has drawn horns on all the human figures and extended their faces with snouts, like with black paint or ink. And you couldn't see it before, but now it stands out and it's very clear. This either means one or two things. The old man over there is a complete fake who just took you for 5 and read what he saw on this is confirmation bias, or this confirms that that is what was going on. That maybe the Minotaur was no king, and maybe he was just delusional, and that was part of his delusion.
Gotcha.
What you don't know is if there is anything quite magical about it. And in your time traveling, nothing has really happened since you have all had it, you know.
Okay. All right, I'll message that out to the group and say that, you know, I'd like to find someone to look at this closer. Maybe somebody, either an oracle or somebody with a more historical knowledge.
At that moment, you hear people like parting in the streets, like, "Oh my God, it's him! It's Medios!" And the streets start to part as a chariot starts to ride through, and it is painted fine in all gold. The chariot is being commanded on the 2 white stallions, and it has gold adornments all around it. And as this fellow kind of rides through the crowd, he waves, and people start to like, you know, he has like women and men alongside of him that throw rose petals in the street. Alcides immediately knows who this is, but Alcides is actually also quite surprised to see just kind of the I don't know, the grandeur, or the outright kind of pride that's being presented. It's not the normal Iroan kind of thing to do, at least he's not showing strength or military, showing victory. He's just riding through with his hands out as though he's God in a white cloak. It's a young man named Medios. He is son of Pentos, one of the great Iroan heroes who saved the city long ago from a red dragon attack. He used this golden spear to destroy the dragon, and here Medios is riding through. He also has another son named Proxinos. You probably haven't seen them in a while, and now of course you see Medios riding through. He's probably only at this point the boy is 14, maybe 15 at that, and he kind of waves, but he has a kind of a pride, a very cocky nature. His hair is white, kind of like almost like a platinum blonde, cut in a bit of a bowl cut. He smiles, very thin, almost sinister eyes, but they have like a green color. And he continues on, and he leaves.
Jack Collins
Alcides will make a comment of chariot racing. Let the horses do all the work.
Yes, that is a bit ironic. A man who seems to take so much pride in himself, yet those animals seem to be the ones doing the work. You ask me, I'm not one for antics and show. I present what I do.
So it sounds like Sildren, you want to find an oracle. You want to give me as you start to. I imagine like throughout as the day goes on, you're probably asking around, talking to different people. Can you give me an investigation check?
Sorry, I was on mute. 14. I got a 15. 14
Okay.
plus 1.
So asking around, you eventually hear about an oracle who's out of town who is staying at a local inn, and they after talking to a few people, the gentleman you're speaking to tells you you go down a couple blocks this way down there, and basically you'll see this place kind of on the left, that kind of thing. But they say that he's been giving people accurate signs of the gods. His name is Rhesus, Rhesus, and Rhesus is staying in kind of like one of the unlike a lot of oracles who usually very much of the earth. He's staying in like one of the like top like suites in this place, like overlooking this fine court where of this inn. He's kind of overlooking like the court, which is like an outdoor kind of tavern. So you do get that. And Calix, where do we find you? Have you been partying? What are you up to in this revel going on?
Just kind of hanging out. I sent you. Did you?
Oh, you sent me some more stuff. Okay.
Yeah. No, I think I.
Because the thing you said was did I miss something when you said? Because when you told me to check, that was about recording, or did I miss something else? There was something.
No. That was about. It was about something else.
Oh, there's so many. I got to go back to the messages.
I'm just
send it again. Send it again, and then it'll pop right up. Because I start trying to scroll, and it was like everyone was commenting, so I couldn't get back to it. Try to. Okay. Got it. And so, yeah, so then you end up kind of partying there for a while. Time marches on. And let's say it sounds like from all the things you guys are doing, unless there's anything else to be done right then and there, let me know. I imagine like a few hours goes by and it's more like the evening, later in the day, sun's just starting to go down, stars are just starting to come up. Siljan, is everyone split up right now? Just kind of where.
Yeah, last I remember, Jack heard from them that the slaver was interested in their wares, so he's gonna go check out the slaver's wares.
Yeah,
he's not exactly a fan of slavery, but business is business. He doesn't really care to judge his client's actions.
Yeah, so he looks down. I see those. Are you selling those blades? I'm always they don't look top notch, but I'm always in the business. I always need more weapons, whether for practice or for any actual games or gladiatorial pits. Yes. I come across.
Yes, I am in the market. I'm much more in the market for. I am selling these. These are made by a very fine Minotaur craftsman in a local. In one of the cities. Honestly, I can't really remember the city off the top of my head.
Setessa.
Yeah, Setessa. A fine Minotaur craftsman merchant in Setessa. Excellent quality. Well, they may not be the fanciest looking blades. They are most certainly quality. They are most certainly of decent quality.
Bring them over. How many did we say you had? How many you're trying to pawn off?
Jack got 2 short swords, and let's see here. I wrote it down. 2 short swords, the Minotaur wanted them to sell 12 gold each. 1 month time limit, great kind. That's what I have written down.
He looks over them. Just 2, huh? I usually like to buy in bulk.
You can. That's why I'm here. I'm a courier, if you will. I guess more or less I'm a merchant. But I make connections with people. That's what I do. I deliver information and deliver things for people. My name is Jack Atlas, head of the Atlas Association. We are a bit of a small company, but hopefully it can get larger soon.
You make deliveries.
Yes, exactly. I make connections and deliveries for people. And this is just one of the deliveries. I make connections with people, connect people from all over the places. All over places.
I am looking for someone to make a delivery of a package for me to the Pride Lands, the capital of the Leonins.
Now, what exactly is this package?
That is none of your concern, as you are the carrier, yes?
Yes, but I am a courier with pride. I deal with objects, not people.
I don't want to transfer a person. And he looks over and he goes in his like wagon. He kind of pulls off this cloak, and there's a box there, and he kind of brings it out and sets it, and it's locked. It's like a treasure chest. And he goes, "This goes to a Leonin by the name of Kashar, and it cannot be opened. But if you're willing to take the job, it would pay handsomely, 500 gold coins."
That is a lot, but why the secrecy?
Because my clients prefer it that way. If you're not interested, if you're not the man for the job, then I'm sorry. I'll still take your two swords off your hand for...
That does sound like an interesting deal,
eight gold coins per sword.
10.
10?
These are very fine, plus I can get you more. I can connect you with the merchant who makes these. That's what I am. I am a merchant and a courier. I connect people and things.
So you'll connect me. If you can connect me, I'll buy them for 10. But when you visit this seller, this minotaur of yours, you connect me so that I get all of my swords for 8 going forward.
I will have to talk to him about that. But yes, I can connect you two. I only can connect you two so far. You can discuss your terms with him. Here's how we will discuss these terms. And he whistles, and as he calls out this whistle, suddenly you hear this like hawk, and this bird comes down and lands on his shoulder. But it's mechanical. It's made of full brass. It's an anvil wrought raptor. He goes, "Take my messenger. It has a special spells on it that allows communication directly to me." And so basically it's his anvil wrought raptor, this mechanical bird's like looking around with these like jeweled eyes. You don't know this necessarily, you might be able to pick it up, but basically it has a speaking stone inside of it, and then he has a speaking stone on his end. Fascinating device.
The bird is not yours, by the way.
I'm not saying that. It is a very impressive device. I have no intention of taking what is yours.
Have you never seen one of these, courier? I thought you were well-traveled.
I am necessarily well-traveled, but this is the first time I've ever seen such a thing like this. I'm usually not used to having such a sophisticated device.
Do we have a deal?
Yes, I'd say so. I'll give you the two short swords and connect you with the man, connect you with the Minotaur. I sell you the 2 swords for 10, and I connect you with the Minotaur. So you may discuss your terms with him.
Excellent. If you ever want this, you'd like to take the box, you can. I will be here the entire till the end of the month, when I will be on my way. And he looks at you in your eye and he goes, "People don't like. Everyone looks down on me. When the chips are down, everyone deals with me. You make your deal. And And as you're walking back, you hear the person there's another woman kind of shrouded in layered fabrics, and she has like pots all lined up, and she sees you walking back. She says, sir, did you say you were a courier, or that you could deliver a package?
Yes, I am. What exactly are you looking to deliver?
Just looking for a simple outfit to be delivered to Melitus at some point. There's no rush on it per se, but one of the Pancratian wrestlers who is not here today, they don't usually participate in these games. Hokeles is his name, very popular there. Was looking for a new outfit, and because I could not afford for my business to not show up here at the games, and it was just done too late. If you plan to be going there anytime in, whenever, maybe you could deliver it for him, because I'm going to be here for a while.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I can absolutely deliver something as simple as that. You have my word as a combat courier. My name is Jack Atlas, and I am the head of the Atlas Association.
So what is your fee for this delivery?
I don't know. How about it like that? Crap.
Y'all really thought these businesses out, have y'all?
I was gonna say, this is like you built your character on this. I feel like that's the first thing I would have thought of.
But I'm trying to figure out, like, okay.
I really built this marketplace for you all. You're like, I don't think I want to shop.
I want to shop, and I already thought about, like, I don't exactly know what exactly is a fair price to deliver goods.
You just throw something out. What would he offer? What would he want? How much money? Atris was over here saying you guys want to make a quick buck, right? Another chance to put that on the docket. I'm willing to pay up.
Okay. I think
you look trustworthy. I'm willing to pay half up front and.
Now, how far away is this destination from where I currently am?
She tells you that she'll pay you like a percentage up, and then Hokeles will pay you. She can like have them pay you when you arrive.
And where exactly do you want me to deliver this to?
Melitus, it's the grandest, the largest polis on the coast. So if you're looking at Legend Keeper, it's going to be the other third. It's the third biggest, largest city. You'd make 25 gold coins if you say yes, and you'd make 100 when it's delivered. And she shows you. She literally has the box open. It's a pair of like little. It's like almost like Speedos, but they're more like they're kind of clothy. They're like not like super tight, and they're yellow. And then there's a kind of a shredded garment, like a shirt that's all ripped in the back.
Got it. So I'm up.
Please, I want to be Hulk
And okay, so it's all the way down across the other side. So we are.
This is not something you have to do right now either, right? This is just you can take it as a side quest and use it as something that's kind of.
Well, how about I give you a deal, ma'am? Since you've given me no time limit, how about I do your package I give you a little discount. How about 20 gold instead of the 25 you're offering? It's a little
fair. Just apologize to him, and I know his ego will be hurt as he thought I would be his most important. He would be my most important client, but I mean, these are the Iroan games, for crying out loud. She says, be honest, that Marlowe wrestling mat that they're down in Melitus, it's all fake.
Well, always good to put on a grind. As long as it entertains people, I don't really mind. If the people like it, then I don't really mind. If that's what he does for a living, then that's what he does. I'm a courier, you're a merchant, you're a tailor. We each have our own things.
Nice. And so she hands it over to you. You make 20 gold. Make sure you make note of that.
So one outfit to Hulk Hogan, no time limit. Where am I off to?
Hulk Hogan? Melitus. Please don't call him Hulk Hogan. His name is Hulk Hokeles.
Hulk. I'm gonna say Hulk Hokeles.
And
if we made him count, that's going to be Calix's default. Just always looking like Hulk Hokeles.
Let's throw down, brother.
suddenly, as this is all happening, you guys are all standing there in the marketplace. A familiar, you see Alcides, you see a familiar kind of strong, statuesque woman walking through the crowd. Her dreads in a ponytail, her bronze skin, her looking around, wearing all of her armor from Satessa. Were you saying something? Sorry. It's Delica. Kind of looks around.
Cool.
Alcides, doesn't she look familiar?
Indeed, she does.
Speak of the devil.
For the games, after all.
Do you say anything, or do you let her go off on her own?
Yeah, just
okay.
Observe that she's there.
Yep.
And let her go off.
Alcides, may I ask you?
Look carefully behind her, because if she's here, that may be why Erroneous isn't in this area. He may have saw her as well. So I'm gonna kind of see if he's kind of around the area.
Yep. So you're looking for him, and you were saying, Calix?
Oh,
I thought Calix was saying something. Someone was saying something.
Oh, that was me.
Oh, that was you. Okay. So then there's. So, go ahead, Atreus.
Alcides, how do you feel about this slavery? How do you feel about the slavery? The trade that's coming through here.
It may have been the roots of our military might, but we are trying to move past it.
I see. I'm almost inclined to maybe step in. Maybe I have no say of what dry folk do. The most dry folk look down. We look mostly down on a lot of dry folk. But slavery, it seems wrong in any form. I wonder if there's maybe a way we can get them freed, or if maybe we should just leave him to his business.
I would not recommend freeing those slaves, for he is a businessman and he does own them. It would be a crime to set them free without paying for them.
Yes, as much as I dislike slavery, that is his job, that is what he does. I do not wish to interfere with another man's business. If I so choose. If it was happening right in front of me and he was collecting the slaves, maybe, but this man already owns them. So I have no interest in interfering with this man's business.
You could enter the games and swim, and if you could do it very competitively and win, maybe you could win enough gold to set them free.
Yes, but fascinating enough, he mentioned something very interesting for me. He had a job for me. It wasn't human wares. It wasn't living wares. I'm not a trafficker. I'm a courier, not some smuggler, not some filthy smuggler. But he had a very interesting thing for me. He wanted to have a box delivered to Leonin. He was very.
My love, there you are, you hear. And Alcides looks over, and there he is, Iroan, running up and groveling at the feet of Delica. I have made this trek for you, my love. I have gotten strong. I have began running.
Just someone take him away before he makes a bigger fool of himself.
And then she's kind of looking at him in disgust. She kind of looks a bit surprised. She was like, stand up and stop making a fool of yourself. And he does. And then she looks at Alcides and walks over and goes, well, isn't this just a coincidence? And, and you are, I take it this is home for you.
Indeed it is.
Well, I guess this is your, he's yours to command now. Have you made him any stronger? And she slaps Iroan in his chest really hard. He almost stumbles back to the ground, but he's not as weak. You can tell he's definitely been tanned by the sun. He's been working really hard, and he starts to grovel and try to prove to her some more. And so she says, why don't we all listen to this? We're all back together. You notice though, what's different is she doesn't seem to be as awestruck by you this time, Alcides, but she's still super friendly. Maybe even a little different than her normal countenance. But she starts talking about maybe a place to get food or to relax or to turn in for the day. It's been a long journey. Everyone just got into town. I don't know. Just what she's saying.
1 second, miss. I don't. Sorry to interrupt. And Atreus, he kind of pulls Alcides, like turns around really quick, and
Can I get a perception check from everyone?
Oh,
Maybe I got a +3. Do well for me. 14.
20.
Oh wow. Okay.
8.
Dirty 20. 17 plus a 3.
You don't want a deception or a perception check for me. Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah, no, not for you. You're not there.
Yeah.
Okay. What was the highest number I heard?
I heard. Was there a nat 20? I heard a dirty 20.
Dirty 20?
I got the same thing.
30,
I got a 20. 16 plus
20. Okay. So these guys look around. Everything seems normal, other than just this strange occurrence of meeting her and Iroan in the same spot. But you guys have been kind of standing around and sweating in the marketplace for a while, and maybe it is a good idea to go somewhere else or to settle in to let some time pass. What say you all? What next? I haven't forgot that, Siljan wants to go see this oracle. He's got this guy for a day. Would Siljan have just left and just gone by himself, taking the cart? Or
that's what I was going to propose. I'll go and I'll take a look at this inn where this oracle is staying, and then try and find some place to.
Would you give them the name so they know where to go? And I didn't even give the inn. The inn would be the. Let me check really quick.
Inn of Holidays.
To the Victor is the name of the place.
To the victors? Yeah.
To the Victor, yeah. To the Victors, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'll give them the name, and I'll say that I'll find a stable for the horse, and we'll park it there. And so, do I have this guy for 24 hours?
Yes.
Or do I return him at the end of the day?
24 hours. So you got them all through. Pretty much it's late in the day now when you guys got here. You guys been there for a couple. So you guys probably, I didn't say when you guys got in, but I'll say you probably got in around 1 in the afternoon. So it's only, we didn't have some time march on, but then we kind of went backwards. So yeah, we're still at around kind of like 3 in the afternoon on that first day. So if we let time march on, we can. But what do you guys want to do?
Well, Jack just comments, well, I'm making wonderful business today. Really makes you wish I kind of had more employees, at least some employees under my belt. But I guess that's what you get for just starting out a new business.
Has Atreus done anything? Has he been looking for anything here? Or has he been asking questions around? Or is he kind of standing himself and just kind of watching?
Yeah, he's kind of just taking this time to I guess see how business is done, and earn a couple extra bucks. And
okay.
I mean, if he can, he'd like to ask around if he can find any leads, but for now I think he's kind of just taking in the city. Yeah. So I say you guys find, if you guys decide, unless you stay somewhere else.
Wait, that, I guess, all right. Would Jack remember this? He's going to announce the dude. So that's the slave merchant I spoke to earlier. He had a very interesting job offer. Meant to sell my swords and get a potential connection, but he had a very interesting job offer for me. It's not live wares. I'm a courier, not a smuggler, but he got a box for me, and he's paying very highly for the package delivery. It seemed like not even he knew what it was. He wanted it delivered to a tribe of Leonin.
Well, Mr. Atlas, I don't know anything about this situation, but what I would recommend, I would take the job. I mean, it would give you extra money just in case the deal falls through. I mean, seemed pretty important to that Minotaur. You made a little bit of money now. It would always be good to have more than enough than not enough at all.
Yes, but something I'm seeing how that much just for a tiny box. He mentioned not to open it. He was very strict about that. I have no interest in opening it, but at the same time, I want to see what I'm carrying in the first place.
Yes.
What exactly
We can get to the bottom of that.
I'm suspicious of the price. Something doesn't sit right with me.
Yes,
man, he's a slaver. I typically don't have much interest in slavers, but the price of it and the whole job of it, something smells fishy.
Yes, I mean, I know you don't want to be a smuggler, but if it sounds a little shady, maybe you can jack up the price. Maybe you can get more than bargain for, or more than he'd like to bargain for. It does seem a little suspicious, and it might put you in a situation you don't want to be in. You know, all the more reason to ask for a little bit more to cover your debts.
Yes, but I'm much more interested in. I do appreciate funds. I'm not an idiot, but I do enjoy. I'm much more interested here. I do enjoy funds, but I know a bad reputation is very bad for business. I'm an honest salesman, and I do not wish to ruin that by taking up such a job. I'll probably take it anyway, but I could have a bit more information or insurance to make sure nothing truly goes wrong that can completely ruin my reputation or business.
And there's no rush. He said you could always come back, right? Like, he's gonna be here for like 30, like a bunch of days, 30 days. So you're good. You can always come back and grab it from him.
Something about that job just doesn't sit right with Jack. He's a very honest man. He doesn't really. Something just smells funny about that job.
I'll assume that Rakira's been kind of quiet and is kind of sniffing around and goes with Siljan just to kind of keep him, so that you guys he's not completely alone. And Siljan is walking through these streets, very populated. There are these kind of dark alleyways, but the streets are very large. So it's not like you're not in a sinister part of the city. But can you give me a perception check?
Sure. 12.
12, okay. So you feel like there's a moment where you stop and you see a couple of men in dark robes standing, talking to each other, and they look out and they look at you, and they have both have dark, kind of almost like makeup or mascara under their eyes, and they have a strange symbol on the back of their hooded cloaks. If I could share it, I would. It almost looks like a snowflake, but like a star and kind of like diamonds. Can you give me a religion check?
20.
20
plus 1.
So even though you've sworn off the gods, you know that symbol to be the god of Krufix, god of secrets. And the strangest thing is that when a man turns his back, like he's talking to the other, where you get to see the sign, when he turns back to look at you, he no longer has a face, and the hood is just black, and you see the swirling nicks inside of it. And you almost flip out for a second and bump into Rakira, and Rakira's like, "What's happening? What's going on?" And when you look back, the man looks completely normal, and it's not even really looking at you. Is now back to just talking at the gentleman next to him. You look over to one side. There in front of you is the tavern.
Is it Victory Inn?
The Victory Inn, yes, to the Victor.
And I'm sorry, there was two guys in that alley?
There are two guys, yeah, kind of in that little standing off under the shade between between two buildings that were keeping themselves out of the sun.
And they called the road charts.
And so yeah, you saw that sign of Krufix, and as you enter, I imagine you start asking around for this Ressus, and they tell you that he's tired right now. He was taking a rest, and that he won't be seeing anyone till after dark. So they say come back around 9, and so yeah. Do you guys all want to eventually meet back up? What are you guys doing?
Yeah, I will, but I'm also curious, like if there's a cartographer around, to maybe.
All right, Jackson. He's gonna go look for a blacksmith to see what he can make out of the fangs. You want to see if maybe he can make some sort of spear or something out of the 4 fangs he's got on him that we killed that we harvested from the snake.
And so it takes some time. So these kind of things you guys look for take some time. So I imagine that over the next day or two, you could find somebody to do that. And then it would take them some time to make them. So in all, you'll probably be able to get those 2 spears made by the end of the week.
He basically wants to see if he can make anything useful out of them, like maybe some sort of weapon, like see if this thing, like good material or something, these fangs, to see what exactly he could.
He ends up finding that he can get the fangs kind of carved and turned into like strong arrow tips or spears. They won't be the strongest things just because of their nature, but they have, because of the way the fang is set up, they could be. If you had poison, they would be easy to kind of a point to where you could put the poison into them, where it would, unlike a lot of dip, when you dip something and let the residual sit on it, the poison would actually sit inside of it and slowly drip to the.
Ooh.
Oh, Shay, I just thought of a good idea for those. Instead of like an arrow or something where it would like send off or like break, maybe you could turn it like into some sort of claw where you could like scratch somebody with it or something like that.
A handled claw, like kind of like a Wolverine thing. You hold it like that.
Would that count as a simple weapon?
That count as a simple weapon.
Ooh, maybe.
Essentially, we just count it as a dagger with that has the ability for poison, because you still have to have the poison. So.
Yeah. Okay. So.
That'd be so sick, though.
If anything, he could hold on.
And I'll take it a step further. Provided I'll make it a percentile check on how well whoever makes it builds it. He could possibly wear them, and treat them as bare knuckle. Basically, like he could fight with them as though he's fighting.
I was about to say, I know they could be excellent daggers, but I kind of also want to capitalize with my unarmed strikes as well.
You just treat them as
So if you could treat them as a gauntlet, they can also.
But he won't be able to get them made. At least, like you end up. Basically, I'm kind of fast forwarding a lot of stuff. You talk to some guy. You talk to another person. He tells you about this blacksmith. That blacksmith tells you you can make them, but you're looking at a week or 2 before you get them back.
Jack's fine with that. He's not in any rush. He's gotten his thing, and if anything, he's probably Jack's fine with getting it in like a week back. He's like, all right, fine, just make them as soon as possible, but don't feel rushed. I want them to be the best quality I can get as possible. Try to make it quick, but please do not cut any corners. I'm not paying you to cut corners.
Suddenly, around that, as you're waiting a little bit later in that day, Siljan, a guy tells you that a gentleman comes down the stairs and tells you that Rezos will see you a bit early. As you have the young Priam carry this giant amphora up the stairs, it hardly fits through the doorway into his fancy suite. You notice that his suite overlooks a bunch of people still partying downstairs, and it has a great view from like high on the hill where you can see like a bit into the Colosseum, but not all the way, or into the arena. And he turns to you, and he's pretty much a man, shirtless. He has kind of a garment draped around his, almost like a floor length robe up to his waist. But then he's just showing all of himself, his hands out. He is pierced in his nose. The ringlets go into his ears. And he goes, I hear you've come for word. I felt your presence downstairs and decided to see you a bit early. Why, brother, do you resist the God's will on your life?
I'll tell him I don't really want to go into that, but I'm hoping that, he can tell me something about this vase. Or urn, sorry.
Man of few words. That's fair. I ask you that question because this vase, this amphora, is going to answer that question for you. if you continue along its path. And he sits and he looks at it, kind of rubs it. He says, the power, the destructive energy of Mogus is strong with this. And if you want the benefits of this amphora, if you want the true power behind it, put it on your cart and head northwest towards Scophos. Your answer, if you truly want to know, lies in the inescapable labyrinth of that land. And so what you know just a little bit about Scophos, Sildren, is just that it is past the barren wastelands of Phobos, and it is where the Minotaurs come from. And Mogus is the god of, he is the twin brother to Iroas, but he is the one, if Iroas is victory, he is the worst part of war. He is slaughter. He is death. And he tells you this. He literally says, he's literally telling you, he goes, Mogus wants to paint a great picture on the world in the blood of its living creatures. So be careful with this. But it poses you no harm. But it will lead you a great journey, great risk, great reward.
Well, I thank him for his time. So apparently it does seem like it is. It's not humans that have been kind of graffitied in the Minotaurs. They do seem like they're in earnest Minotaurs on this.
So he does confirm that the Minotaur has scrawled. As he spends some time with it, he tells you this Minotaur scrawled on it. But the Minotaurs, the blessing of the Minotaur, what the Minotaur believed, what was on him, his true kingship comes from Mogus. And there is something more special about the amphora. Maybe it's not that it was created by humans, but maybe from those scrawlings, maybe it's been through some type of ritual. Maybe it represents something. Maybe it's a treasure that needs to be returned. That he can't really speak, just because the gods speak through omens. So nothing is ever clear unless they are talking directly to you, even for an oracle. So all he can tell you is where to take it if you are still interested in it on that level. And then he goes, otherwise, sell that piece of shit and end your troubles.
So I still have the crown from the Minotaur, so I want to show him that also and ask if it means anything to him, or if it's tied to this at all.
He holds it. Puts it on his head. He's kind of dances around with it for a second. Goes, yeah. Not worth much, but to a Minotaur, it would have been a fine crown, and his subjects would have kneeled before him.
Okay. No, I'm definitely interested in finding out where to take it. Doesn't mean that we will, but then
yeah. So if you're looking at the map, it's like Scophos is on the map. It's just that area is where he's saying it's pretty much the area where you would want to start your journey or start to go looking for answers there. Yeah. I imagine that we kind of fast forward a bit. You guys said you guys want to meet up back, or do you guys meet up at the tavern? Where you guys maybe set the scene where you guys would like.
Didn't we decide to meet up? I'm assuming a couple of days have passed at this rate, so we've already met back up at the statue. Or is this all still?
Well, I'd say so that you've talked to some people all on the same day, but you know that you're not going to get your spears for like another week, right?
Yeah.
Or two. So with that said, maybe where would you all meet up that evening, that first day? Since we're kind of.
I want to meet up where Calix was going. Was he at a tavern or?
The statue. We initially said the statue at the foot of the giant statue.
So you guys meet up there, and it's about time to like turn in for a day. So we're you guys just resting and then moving forward. You guys have enough coin to settle down. I don't know if we're staying away from Alcides' home, then just settling down maybe at the tavern or maybe at the Victor's place would be good. Getting some food and seeing what tomorrow holds.
Is Delica still with you guys?
Is who? Delica's still at this point. Delica's still with the group.
Where is he?
So Alcides went off, because Siljan went off on his own. So I mean, I'm trying to get you guys all kind of back together at some point, unless you guys are just going to stay for days on end. If you guys saying you're going to stay, days on end, you guys could be away. But I just wonder if they're settling into the city, where are they staying? Like where are they like living at? Where's Calix? Delica's kicking it.
Tempted to kind of meet freaking Alcides. Gotta check out Alcides' home.
Okay.
I'm just as player very tempted to meet the parents.
But wherever the group is, I will say that Delica is very interested. She starts talking and kind of rousing you over and over, kind of throwing little jabs about how she wants a second opportunity to whip the group's ass. But more importantly, she wants to see what Alcides has on a one-on-one.
Oh yes, I mean, you come at a pretty fortunate time. Just before you got here, Alcides was taking all kinds of challengers. Maybe this could be a good opportunity for Ironius to test his strength against Alcides to prove to you that he's grown stronger. And kind of wink over at Alcides to like
help me out here.
like dumb it down a little bit, like not go full strength, maybe yeah.
I mean, make it worth your while.
See, Alcides wants Erroneous to improve where he's at, so he would not go full strength, but he will also make it known that he is not going full strength. Because even beating a pro at partial strength is still a fine feat.
So like you're tired from the challenges, but you still are willing to like go against Ironius or
do a nice little arm wrestle.
Oh, so you want to go against Ironius, not Delica's like looking at like you, like I want to go against you, Alcides.
So for Delica, then I'll say, let's enter the games in boxing. Actually, no, not boxing. I don't want to be punching a woman in the face.
I mean, she's strong, so I mean, yeah, she's equal opportunist here.
Unless they allow kickboxing,
she had no problem. Right? She had no problem punching us
tomorrow. She goes, she could have we could do a fair little boxing match here, or we can meet at the tryouts when the games start tomorrow.
That could be a little fun entertainment.
I'll take her on full force, swords, shield.
Why don't we just do this? Why don't we do this right now, right here in front of all these people? We've been standing out here for hours. It seems like you all don't know what you want to do. Fight me.
Well, I could use a bit more practice. I have been training a bit.
What do you say, Alcides? Alcides, I'll referee. I'll be the referee. Alcides, what do you say?
I would personally like to meet in the games, because I don't know if I'm even worthy of fighting you one-on-one yet. So if I can make it through the bracket and meet you in combat there.
Well, how about we fight as a group again? You never know. You could have gotten stronger. Let's see if we do any better against her the second time. I think Jack just barely wants to see how much he's improved.
I'm sorry, Miss Alcides. He wants this to be a battle of honor. I'm sure you want the same. Do you think you can perhaps be a little patient? And I'm sure Alcides, he'll give you exactly what you're looking for.
Not a man of honor. Snap my fingers. Drop it.
She starts changing. Delica starts changing back to Calix.
There's no way. There is no way you are not a man of God. I need to fight you. I'm holding the blade. Holding blade. If it's at the games, if it's here, right
Ironius
now.
bursts into tears, like, no, I can't. What cruel joke is this?
That is, I'm sorry, Ironis. That is what we call in the Siren Sea as being catfished. I'm sorry about that.
He was like standing so close to you two, and he's like, oh. Oh.
Did Calyx allow the secret grope is the question.
Yeah. Oh my god. that I'll leave to them between Calyx and Rodeo. So you all over meal, drinks, things, let the time pass. You meet back up with Siljan. The next day you start to hear about the practice that's going on. Are there anyone in that next day would anyone go in?
I'm kind of curious about something. Where exactly did we bunk for the night? Is there anything?
That's what I keep asking.
Yeah, where did we bunk for the night? Jack's got a question he wants to ask the slave.
I don't know the wealth of my family. Haven't really established that much in the backstory.
So I guess we're just staying in.
Yeah, let's not intrude. Let's not intrude a group of random people into your parents' house.
It'd be fine to meet them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Staying the night's another story.
Okay, at this point, I guess we can just say we're staying in. But I guess while we're staying at the inn, Jack's gonna introduce himself to the slave and basically ask him a couple questions.
So Priam, so over meal, the Priam's happy to be eating some, decent food. What do you want to know?
So, what type of man is your master? Owner? What exactly do you call him?
This master is fine.
What type of man is your master?
He is a man of business. I do not like my situation, my life, but I hope to earn my freedom through fighting in games. He kind of shows a scar under his arm. He's like, I've survived one so far when we fought down in the Badlands, small little village there. But 20 more to go. If I survive 20 more matches, I'm free.
Now, is your
19 more to go, he says. 19.
Is your man a man of his word? Like, if you do successfully get 20 wins, would you be truly let free?
I have never seen it, though I have heard from others that one has made it. It's not whether he's dishonorable or he's not. He seems to be a man of his word. I just think that what he asks of a man is almost impossible. It is more like I'm back. That freeze. All right.
Internet crash.
Jeez, it's mine's having weird hiccups today. Sorry, guys. Maybe I'll kill my voice if this helps. But he basically says he's to his fate. He believes that, that's the problem, is that most men just won't make it. And some days he does wish, he fantasizes about overthrowing him and running away, but how realistic.
That wouldn't exactly get you very far if you were to kill your master and run away.
I know people that might help him. I know specific person looking at my sword who'd love to see that happen.
So I'm curious. Your master seems a man of his word. How exactly does he deal with merchants? Is he underhanded in his ways of negotiation? Is he shrewd in any ways? Is he a schemer of some kind?
Shrewd, but doesn't strike me as a schemer. He's been pretty honest with his dealings that I have seen.
Now, know anything about him Leonins? Got a very interesting job request from him.
I don't know much about the Leonin.
I see. Interesting. Well, thank you so much for that information. I will take that. Thank you so much for that information, and I wish you the best of luck.
I thank you. And then he looks to Siljan and he goes, well, I mean, you have me. It's like later in that evening, so you probably have me for another 12 hours. But do you want me to stick around for that?
I mean, I want to learn more where he's from and his background and why he has the keen interest of fighting and basically what you revealed already.
Yeah,
so,
and he really has no interest in fighting. He's from a small fishing village along the coast, very poor, not up near, and he can't say for sure. He put it this way, he doesn't believe he was kidnapped by the man you just met. But whoever the bandits that kidnapped him sold him to the man that you.
And he just does business. He's not necessarily.
Yeah.
You don't know whether or not he's employed the bandits.
He keeps his hands out of. Yeah. But he takes it.
He benefits, but you don't necessarily know if he's the one also manipulating at the same time. Like, I got a conspiracy theory. He's the one who hired the bandits to do his dirty work, so he could just claim he keeps his hands clean. Let's go like full anime villain.
So, I mean, I'll tell him that, I'd like to keep him around for a little while longer. Maybe escort me again if there's a cartographer that I could see in this city.
He's not even from Akros, so he would.
But just to escort me for.
Yes, he'll stay with you. Over the next course of that next day, if you did find a cartographer, what would we be looking to gain from them, Siljan?
Any maps of the area, but then also to inquire about if there's been any type of reporting about outcroppings switching on the road between Satessa and here. Like maybe, I'm hoping like what you described to me with the outcroppings, I'm able to like recall and kind of show and see if there's anybody else like in there, map making wise, like has reported oddities like that.
What we break into from that is a kind of montage over the next week as we watch Siljan looking for the right cartographer.
Right.
Eventually finding a man who is able to show you he has like half a map of Theros all laid out. Scophos all the way down Badlands, all the way down to Odunus, which is the part of the world where like the undead city, and then some of off the coast, some of the islands. And he's willing to sell that to you. So whether you take it or not for like 2 gold.
What I'm hoping to do is also like trade like any of the stuff that I've kind of tracked or captured to trade back to him. So I mean, a 2 gold is fine. I mean,
okay. What did you want to trade with him?
Just any of the like anything along the road from Satessa to here. Like I don't know if they already have all that stuff or. You said it's going to take over like it. Yeah. So you said this would be over a week because what I'll do is it would be over a week. You said
over a week, yes.
Okay. So maybe before that, asking the group, we've captured a map of the temple that is now destroyed by the earthquake.
Oh yeah, we marked the hopefully the blocked off entrance. I forgot we knew where an entrance to the freaking underworld was.
He would definitely be interested in the map, in that map up to, because you're talking about the Castonos River, and you mapped all that, and no one's even been up that way since the earthquake. So he'd be willing to buy that. I don't know what you're willing to sell it for or trade. Your trade is with your trade instead of the he's wondering what you want, if there's anything more that you'd want for it.
I mean, outside of just the maps. I mean, I have no sense of like he was going to sell me all those maps for like 2 gold. So don't know, 10.
He goes back and forth. He's like, "How about 5?"
I mean, that'll work.
He takes it. So you still benefit 3. End up trading those off. Back and forth. You continue to go check on. Jack starts to check on and see that his claws are being worked on. They're looking really good. And in the meantime, what's everyone else doing? I'll give you guys a chance to kind of fill in what you've been up to over there.
I don't suppose there's like I just noticed I've got this in my inventory. I don't suppose there's like a gear appraisal type of person, because I've apparently got lying around in my inventory a silver ring, and I'm not exactly sure if that's anything special. So I think Jack just kind of wants to get that checked out. I think I got it off the snake. Something
you'd be looking at. Yeah, it probably came out of a silver ring. It's worth like 10 silver pieces. And you maybe even like 5 silver pieces. But in addition to that, you also, what starts to happen is the city starts to kind of go into an uproar, just day and night, revels and all this stuff, because the games are now under full swing. Ironius went in and signed up and pulled off his athletics to see if he could cut it. And he did. I rolled a 10, so he did fail. He was like he failed his first race, but what was interesting is though he didn't come up first, second, or third, but he came in like close to the back of the pack. But it was like there was like 20 people racing. He came in like 15, and he, as leaving, I don't know if you guys would have watched or would have been there, in the stands. Yeah, so like sitting in the stands, you guys clapping for him. You notice that he a few like of the ladies in the crowd give him like little woos, like claps, and he's like, for the first time in his life, he's kind of surprised by it, and for the first time not thinking about Delica for the moment.
Yes. I think I screwed him up just enough to feel like,
and then over that next week, maybe like 5 days in, you start to hear about this group that's doing really well in the games. Like they're cleaning up, and it seems to be Proxinos, the brother of Medios, and you've heard that Medios has challenged him to, starting tomorrow, this all-out horse race. Actually, no, it's at the end of the games. He's challenging him to a chariot race. In addition to that, though, you start to see, not everyone, but you start to see people walking through over the next week, walking through the crowds with bull little black flags with bulls on them, and people wearing robes with these on, almost like like Supremalia, and the team of the bull, like the champions of the bull, have people start chanting that and talking about them. Unless you've been going to the games every night, you wouldn't necessarily see them in action. But I'll leave it up to you guys. It's only been 1 week as you start to hear these, I'll see these. You hear through the grapevine that Penthos, the warrior who slayed the dragon, is still out and about, still in the in the wilds with his men, with his Stracians. But that Proxinos' mother, I always forget her name, which I can bring it up here shortly, is a little worried about her sons being in danger in their final challenge. But those are just kind of things that are just happening in the background, that as you all are having all these things happen. At the top of the second week, you all are kind of maybe back just walking through the city when a little girl bumps. Again, kind of perception check. I know, what's your perception? Who has the highest passive, actually?
I've got a 13, so I've got a 15 on passive insight, 13 for passive wisdom.
Okay. So why don't we all roll perception checks?
Ah, God, a freaking pickpocketer. This is
14.
13. I'm not noticing anything.
16.
All right. So on the busy street, 16, I think Siljan is the highest there. And so Siljan, you see a little girl, couldn't be more than 7 or 8, and she seems a bit lost as people are going to and fro, horses are going by, all by herself, and she looks a bit distraught, like she's looking for her mother. You're the only one who sees it, Siljan. What do you do?
I'll alert the group and start walking over there. I just tell them, hey, there's this girl, looks like she's lost. I'm going to go check it out and see if anybody else comes. Before we go much further, I'm paying off the 70 gold for Prius.
Oh, for who? For for the. Oh no, that's the thing is no. What he was saying is it was only 30 to have him for the 24 hours. It was 100 if you were going to buy him like outright. Yeah. He was like the I got you saying. So you're paying him off. Got it.
I'm gonna say, I don't know what his plans are, but he's got his freedom. He doesn't have to fight 19 more times.
He takes your money and leans forward, like as you kind of put in his hand, clasping your hand, and goes, what makes you in the mood for such charity? Kind of, you can tell he's a little frustrated. He's not willing to take the money, but he's a little frustrated to.
I mean, I'm not going to give him the satisfaction, but I mean, just character-wise, I mean, I'm still trying to negotiate my feelings and penance for what happened to the Minotaur.
Yeah.
So a life for a life, in a sense. Trying to give this kid his freedom. But I'm broke. I got like 20 gold. Or no, I have 23 gold.
Oh, Pram. Is this your choice? You forego a life of greatness to be a meager commoner, to be a free man? And he says, I do. Fair enough. Business is business. Let me know if you want to do any kind deeds for any of the others. From here on up, it's 200 or more.
I don't say anything. I just turn and walk with. I mentioned to Prius that he's more than welcome to kind of tag along, or we'll go about his way. I mean, he can kind of stay with me in this group.
I'm willing to stick around for a while if you're happy to. And then I think when I'm feeling able-bodied and ready, I'd like to get my gear and try to head back home.
Absolutely. And in the meantime, I just ask of him, if he can help me kind of like map out the area as he remembers it. So
absolutely. And so you and him spend time kind of going over things to do there and how to plan things out. And then then kind of fast forwarding back to that, you're now seeing this little girl, and she says her name. She says, my name is Conley. I'm looking for my mother. I'm lost, and I just had her. I got distracted by the birds, and I just don't know where she is.
What does she look like?
She tries to describe her mother's like dark-haired.
Calix is gonna try and like whenever she says something, like attempt to look like her as much as possible.
Yeah. Can I get I guess that would be like a performance check to see if you can.
Yeah. That wouldn't be with advantage, right?
Yeah, I guess while she's describing that,
8.
Atlas's suspicions going. He's been around the place, so he definitely knows. He's definitely seen some scams like this, so he's. Can I take a perception check or maybe like an insight check to see if there's anything
Go ahead.
suspicious going around? Let's see, I guess I'll roll. Would it be insight? Okay, I'll do. I think I'll roll perception. He's gonna see if there's anyone around ready to jump him or something. Let's see what I get. Nothing. Hey, I can't see anything with perception.
Oh no, a little lost girl. That's what you see.
Yeah.
I think you
familiar, almost like a whisper in the back of my mind. But if it is at the edge of the world, I can tell you the Siren Sea is one crazy place to be. It's not for a beginner sailor at all.
You think you can take me out there? Or take us out there?
I think so. I think if we have the proper equipment, and we're very cautious, I think we can make it across. Like I said, it is very dangerous. I've seen things out there as well. That is definitely one thing we can do. When would you plan on wanting to take that trip?
Let's take care of the things that we have to take care of now. And we can worry about that. If the Siren Sea is as dangerous as you say, as you believe it to be, we are in no shape to be doing it now. We need more help. We just need to be stronger.
Yes, and I mean, I can communicate with some life form, some sea life form. We might need some of their help as well. Maybe just to scout out the area before we even start that voyage.
Okay. Just
so you guys are talking about possibly going out to the Siren Sea as your next move.
We were just talking about that because you cut off.
I'm sorry. I keep I don't know. Internet keeps freezing and it's really frustrating. I'm trying to fix it and I can't seem to get my. Basically, I was going to say we'll do it maybe in 5 minutes. We'll take a break and I'll try to fix it. But what I was going to say is yes about the little girl. You were doing an insight check. Sorry, before I froze.
Okay.
Like to see if this was some kind of ploy to be a pickpocket, right? Like to see if she's
I'll take 24.
Yeah, and so this little girl seems extremely distraught. This doesn't seem like something that's and I will say that as Calix is changing his face, it helps she is able to confirm what she looks like, but it doesn't necessarily help in terms of like, yes, she already knows her mother's, but it doesn't necessarily help you find her. But now you know what the woman looks like because yes, you all confirmed. So that makes it a little bit easier to spot her with the little girl's help. So if you're willing to walk through the streets with her for the next time being, I just need a perception check from all of you.
Yeah, Jack's face softens and he lets his guard down. All right, little girl, we'll help you find your mother.
For a price.
Jack likes money, but he's not heartless.
Perception checks.
14.
I'm getting nothing. 5. God. I swear, each one's getting lower. At this point, it's going to be a nat 1.
9.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Not good at seeing stuff.
That was 9. Oh. So after 5 minutes turns to like 10 minutes, and eventually little girl's getting a bit scared, and Alcides sees a local, one of the soldiers walking by and goes, Alcides, there you are. What's happening here with the little one?
She has lost her mother, and we're trying to find him. And then I kind of wave to Calix.
I can.
How these kind of guys. She looks similar to this.
She looks. I know her. That woman, Sina. She's a good lady. During these Iroan games, these kids they slip away. And he says, "I can take the child for you, but more importantly, Lady, he names basically the mother of the House of Christos, the mother of Proxinos and Medios. She actually asked for you. If you're willing to come to her residence, no rush, but at least in the next couple of days."
We can go now if you take the kid.
We'll take the kid, yes. And in, Alcides kind of knows the place. He's never been there. I mean, maybe he doesn't really, of the family. Maybe you're not really even good friends with them. But through your your military, even at your rank, it kind of precedes you. You're known as being, pretty straightforward, and honest. I think those that know that you can be trusted, and so maybe somehow she's gotten word of you, and so you would all begin to then head over there. Uh,
Not the best fighter, but got that integrity.
yeah, her name is Artemisia. I always feel so. Yeah, Artemisia, and so it as you head up to the house, there are many stations and guards there. There is this kind of beautiful guard area, open place that is both a garden and a training grounds. There is a statue of Pentos in the garden, and then up through the opening doors, there's this foyer and then an atrium that has different Acroian helmets kind of on display on pedestals at each side of the room. There are guest quarters throughout, and then there are pillars along the opening sides of this place. In the middle is a kind of a fountain, and it's open air in the ceilings, of course, so it's like kind of cut out in the top, so the sun kind of shines down in. And there's just kind of a little, almost like more of like a fountain, but it looks like it could be even a bath. You could like almost step down into it. The guards tell you to wait for a moment, and then Artemisia comes out to see you, and she says, "Thank you for giving me your audience." She looks around and she goes, "I wanted to talk to you because Pentos fought with your father at one time, and while they are not friends or close, my husband has not been himself for some time. I don't know if you have noticed this or seen this as through the streets, but it is whatever's changed in him has also changed my son Medios. He is pompous, he is arrogant, and my other son Proxinos has recently come home. I'm sure you have heard his name throughout the city. I really wish he was not popular right now, because when Medios was 11, he challenged his older brother Proxinos to become the heir of House of Christos. Proxinos did not want it. He said no, and for that he was exiled. So for Proxinos to be here and winning the games with his group, it is not good. If Pentos comes home, he could easily be stripped of all his winnings, and they could be arrested. And I need someone to... There are only two things I can ask. Is that if it comes to that, I think I know my husband enough and know that he will probably make a show of Proxinos. He will make the duel happen between the two brothers, and he will make a show of the rest of the group. If that's the case, he will do it during the games, and they will have to fight many a gladiator. I have a feeling that at that time, I would want to use my own group, well, maybe you and yours, to take care of some of those who might harm my son and his friends, maybe beforehand. Either that or leave early and go to where my husband is positioned and give him word, a lie. Tell him that I will give you word of another town or another village that needs help, and maybe that will distract him and keep him from coming home, because I have a feeling that he should be here within the next could be days, could be weeks. But if I can go to where he's stationed, maybe you can keep him from coming back, or just be prepared to protect or bodyguard my son if his party is not as strong as they could be. That's what she's asking. She does offer you the party a pouch of 200 gold for this.
Alcides cares not for that gold, because this is the wife of the Dragon Slayer, very influential person. But so what I will say, so, it saddens me a little that you would want me to stain my integrity by lying to your husband, the hero, the Dragon Slayer. That I cannot do.
You don't understand. He's not been the hero. It's like something's wrong with him. But
what do you mean wrong?
He's been more brutal, vicious, greedy, coveting. It's as though he's a man possessed.
I didn't want to say it, but Cairo history. I mean, as a player, it sounds like total possession, but I'm thinking, would Jack know of anything about ghosts?
No, I won't even have you roll because I think it's just
Yeah.
it's. I don't think that's it. I don't want to send you on a goose chase.
I figured it sounds like it is like this. It sounds like possession to me. But no, yeah,
but you can tell that she is a bit like she realizes when Alcides says that she is kind of going out on a limb and that it is really dangerous for her to even imply the things that she's saying. And so she kind of looks down towards the ground while he's, saying, "How dare you," essentially.
No, it wasn't like that. He was just kind of like, "Hey, like
I
I know for my integrity. I don't want that compromised. So I'm agreeing to the other terms of protection."
Yeah.
Got it. The other terms of protection.
So then I also turn to Calix and I look at him and I say, "Calix, if you wish to go lie to the Dragon Slayer, I will give you permission this once to use my image to do so, if it is of that grave importance." And I will also turn back to her as I say that.
I'm kind of curious. Can I roll an
Just a
insight
just the biggest grin on his face ever. Really?
It's
Just bouncing up and down.
It is getting late in the day. Would you like to stay here? We have many rooms.
I'm curious. Can I
Please.
roll an insight check on this woman? Jack knows
Go ahead.
nothing of this woman, so he's obviously a bit like.
It's going to be difficult, because you don't know anything about this culture.
He doesn't know anything about the culture or anything. He's a complete outsider.
Go ahead.
No, the women are equal to men in this culture.
17. I'm happy. I'll take it.
Yes. And so she, are you looking to see if she's being truthful, or
He's seeing what exactly.
what are
I
you?
guess she's seeing what the intention behind the request is. He's trying to basically gauge what's the feeling behind this request.
You get a strong feeling that she is worried based on the laws of the culture, because based on a fight or a challenge, when a duel is not accepted, it doesn't have to be even to the death, but when it's not accepted, it is so disrespectful that the house, that the person who owns the house has the right to exile. So Praxinos has been completely. He was told never to come home. It's been multiple years now. It's been 5 years about 5 years, and he's come back, and now he's kicking ass in the games with this other group. And she's like, when my husband returns, this is not gonna fly, because the rules have already been. And I imagine that it's one of those things where it's like he hasn't really gotten any wrath from anyone, from any of the other soldiers thing, because it's something specifically with his house, right? And his father does have a high standings, and maybe a lot of people really like Praxinos, and maybe they've even forgiven him. Maybe they've even just kind of turned the look the other way. But if he comes home and sees this, she's assuming how he's going to, but she's like, if he acts violently, and if they get arrested, or if something happens, could you guys save them? Right? Could you step in?
Yeah, no, Jack's fine with this agreement. He doesn't really. He sort of views a very touchy subject, but he thinks if this potentially, yeah, no, I'd say Jack's all right with this, as long he's not interested in getting too involved in this. We'll do bodyguarding, but we're not going to necessarily. If stuff really does go down, you won't necessarily.
Are we alone, or like is she?
You're alone. She sent all her. She trusts like a couple of different guards, and you can tell like the way she like signs with them. And when she speaks with you, she's completely alone, away from prying eyes and ears.
Okay. Excuse me, miss, may I? And Atreus, he kind of points to the fountain, kind of gesturing. He just kind of wants to sit in it.
Oh, I'm sure your gills have dried from your travels. Please have at it. And suddenly, as we're having this serious conversation, Atreus is just backstroking, just wild, like And honestly, in all your long rests, you haven't felt as good as this moment right here. Right, you're finally feeling 100% in that.
Yeah, Jack just shrugs like, I don't really see much harm in it. I did want to kind of make some business here, so it would suck if this somehow turns out badly, but then again, he's thinking of long term here, like, outcast prince, that could be.
And what I'll ask you after you make this decision is to let me know before I move forward, if you had to leave this city the next day, have you at least done all that you wanted to do?
If my stuff is the gauntlet finished yet?
Yes, it's finished. That's been given to you. Yes. So you have your weapon, and that's essentially the benefit of it, is that it can be used you can basically use it as a dagger that counts as your bare hands when you use it.
All right, I'll go put it on.
You can put poison on his fists.
Yeah. So I guess if anything, now that Jack's got this gauntlet, looks over, how much did this cost him?
I didn't even. Yeah, I mean, let's see. That's gonna cost him. I'm gonna roll for it because it wasn't.
These fangs should have only costed him. They cost. Let's see. I initially wrote it down. They were like 8 gold each. The fangs.
Yeah, but it cost him an extra. Cost him 15 gold to make.
15. All right. Jack looks it over. I guess what would it be? What can I roll to basically investigate the? I guess investigation. You want to basically gauge the quality of this.
It's good. It's as good as it's gonna be. Yeah, it's not gonna break on you. It's like, it's not gonna snap or.
Jack's happy with it. He tips him. You said it's gonna cost 15. Jack gives him 20. Keep 5.
Thank you, sir. He'll eat for like another month on that extra 5. He's like, that's a tip.
No, Jack.
That's like tipping a waiter $100.
Yeah.
I guess in this case, Jack's gonna give 17.
No takes backsies. He's like, hey man. He's like, give my. He's like, give my money.
Jack's nice. He enjoys the quality of it. He's like, I'll give you 5. He appreciates the quality. He's an honest man.
I'll give you a good deal on anything else I make. And you gotta put.
Absolutely. Keep in mind, I'm a member of the Atlas Association. If you need anything else of me, just feel free to ask.
So it's the Atlas Association and not the Fleece Main Line Company?
Nope. The Atlas. I'm a courier. I'm head of a courier service.
Okay.
Known as the Atlas Association. You need anything else, just feel free to call.
Sounds good. All right.
I appreciate the work you have done. This is fine craftsman. I'm very satisfied with this work.
And time goes on, marches on,
so
and
if we're gonna leave soon, if we do take up this request, Jack is gonna do one last thing before if we decide to truly do set out. He's gonna go talk with the slaver.
Okay. As he goes back there. What is he? It's another
So-
another few days goes by.
Yeah.
You've talked to the mother. I think you're now well into like the middle of the second week, right? And the slaver goes, "Oh, are you here to reconsider my proposition, the job?"
Yes, I am. I am indeed reconsidering it. Now, how much did you initially want for this job? I can do it for 525.
I
I want some insurance money in case things. Of course, I've got to have some. I want to. This is definitely a high job, but I do wish for some insurance.
hard
But I
bar.
promise you quality. I promise you it will be quick, on time, and intact. You have my word as a courier.
Fair enough. 525. And he will not. He goes. I'll give you. He'll send the raptor. You got the raptor that goes with you, the bird.
Yeah.
He'll give you 100 now. He hands over the book, and then the box, and as it touches your hands, he goes. But remember, I guarantee my efficiency as well. And what did you just tell him? You said it would be on time,
Quality, on time,
time.
intact.
And on time. Yeah.
He's basically whatever your job is, he plans to fulfill it.
I
as
guarantee
best as
that.
he can as a combat courier.
I promise that if you don't fulfill your end of the bargain, it will be quick, on time, and you will be in.
Oh, trust me, sir. I am a man of my word.
Not intact.
If something truly does go wrong, then I will truly accept your punishment. That is my job and honor as a combat carrier. If I cannot complete a job such as this, I do not deserve to call myself a combat courier. It is my honor as a merchant. I would never dare screw up a customer.
Fair enough. All right. He's using a little fly swatter to kind of swat the many flies that are going around, and he goes, "All right, we'll be on your way. Thank you, Jack."
So, what does the job entail? He's, from what I've gathered,
yeah,
he's delivering a box to a Leonin tribe. Where?
Yeah. So what I'll also do is put it in Discord, but like after this and in our thing for these kind of missions, and so I'll just put the basics. Like you basically need to meet a particular Leonin. He gives you the name, and you need to give him the box. And it's basically at the. I think I spelled it wrong. Just Tescos. It's like it's the capital of Orestes. And I closed out Legend Keeper to hope to try to keep things from moving slow. So I'll get you the name in a minute.
So Sabescos is Skoph.
That's Scophos. Nope. It's you would be going to the Pride Lands. It looks like a temple on a mountain, right adjacent to the Pride Land, to where the Leonins live.
I see the Ashlands, the Mount. I see the Badlands, Deathblows Canyon. Yeah, the only tempo I'm seeing is that.
Go the other way. Stop going. You're going like west. Go east on the map. And
east. Oh, I see. Is it Scophos?
Not Scophos. No.
I'll see these. You're muted.
Whatever. I guess I'll figure it out. Okay, I'm seeing Mount here. Is it that one in the valley? That one in the valley? Is that it? I'm seeing the mountains.
It's the mountain on the Ketchiton Mountains, right below the valley, right below the valley at the top of the.
Okay, yeah,
map.
I see it. Telmos?
Telmos, yes, that's the place.
Okay, got it.
Yep, that's where you need to take it. So for Rakira, if he was here today, that would be something that might also light up in his, because it's like he'd be going, because he's from those lands, but he may not have ever been to his the capital.
Which is also good for Jack, is because he also speaks Leonin.
Yeah, there you go.
So he has no issues going over there.
Yeah, stuff's going slow for me, so I just want to close things out so they're not weighing things.
So I
down.
guess what's the time limit Jack's got?
Take your time. I'd rather get there in one piece than to get there broken or.
No, I will keep this thing as an honor as my honor as a combat crew is on the line. I promise you, this box will be unopened and completely sealed the way you exactly left it into your specific client. I will make damn sure of that. You have my word. And I never disappoint. And I never, as my honor as a combat courier, I basically saying I'll do it. Jack's a very honorable man. He would never dare to screw over a customer.
All right. And so, anyone else? If that's it, then you guys have kind of gotten a lot of different things. Sildren has picked up some information on this amphora. You have know this other box, and you now have your deal being almost complete with your Minotaur back in Satessa. Atreus, you haven't so far, going on second week here in the city, haven't come across anything on the Triton. But I haven't really necessarily heard him talking much about it. So I don't think it would, nothing's coming to you on this at the moment right now. And
He's had a request for Atreus, and that was to make a dress for his mother.
Yes, we can definitely do that. I just need the materials. I have my weaver's tools. That is definitely something we can do for Mama Alcides.
So the next couple weeks goes by as you have to secure and find the right linens, make it perfect. You've been working on that. And anything we miss here, if I kind of gloss over everything, you can always kind of retcon in that time. But you end up making a quite beautiful dress. And it's late in the evening when it's done. And I guess it's perfect for Alcides that next morning you'd be able to, take it to your mother if that's the plan. Would that be the plan? Or you guys have heard from the Grapevine as you've done all these other things. That those group continue to win different areas of the games, and that there is still this race coming up between these two brothers, and you all turn in for the night, and in the middle of the night there's a rapping at the door. Now, actually, do you continue to stay at her at place? So she keeps you guys off to a side, and what you end up waking up to is you overhear the back and forth. You hear the marching of Spartans throughout the house, and one of the halls that leads to the atrium, if you even cracked a door, if you even just hit there, you could hear a commanding voice of a man extremely upset and frustrated, and you can hear him commanding people to be arrested. And you hear there's enough guards to where if you challenge them, which you could be bad. You can hear the mother kind of shouting back and forth with him, but finally her kind of giving in. And if anyone would have cracked the door, looked Alcides, maybe you look out and you can see that the young man Proxinos is being arrested. As they lead him away from the house, moments later, she comes to you all's door, and she goes, "Thank goodness they're gone. I was right. I didn't think it would be this, but tomorrow is the last day of the games, and the last day, now that most of the once the chariot races is over, then those medals are usually given out, and then there is to end the event, there is a gladiatorial combat, a display of all of Iroas's technical pride, and it is a game that mimics the Iroan War that happened long ago. There's no time to go through all that, but Pentos is going to put my son in that fight. They are taking them to the gladiatorial barracks as we speak. They're going to keep them there for the night. I have to get you in there. There's two
So
ways.
you want us to be competitors or something? I thought the qualifiers were already done.
This isn't a game. This is a show of force by gladiators. But knowing Pintos, he is going to make the Suns compete in that duel to the death that they never had long ago. And from what he just said, he is going to sentence the rest of his group to death. I believe that he's going to use extreme force here, but if you usually the way it's going to work is the gladiatorials, the combatants will come in waves. Maybe I could get you into maybe you can be a part of the fight without being a part of the fight. Maybe we get you into the barracks below, and when that first wave goes out, you take care of the second and third group wave before they hit the top, and that way even the odds from my boy.
You think we can break him out as a failsafe? Because I transform into whatever I or try to look like him.
And she is, that is quite a fantastic sorcery. But if you could, it is going to be you're going to need more than some parlor trick show to get him out of there. I guess the only way I could get you in to even try that was I could have you falsely a fake arrest and come up with a reason to have you added to the games, and you could be there in a cell in the same area as my son.
Or maybe you want to visit him, and maybe you, pointing at me and transform into her, want to visit him.
This evening?
Probably.
If you think that will work. What say the rest of you? What about, are you going to go in by yourself? Would you go with your group? People are going to wonder why I'm with other than Alcides, with such a ragtag group, a lady of my standing and all.
Say we're hired mercenaries.
Maybe Atreus, Atlas, and Siljan and Rai hang back. Alcides escorts you down there.
It is a interesting plan. What are you all? You would be playing. You must do an impeccable job, because magic is often used. Oracles and sorcerers are also used to kind of pick out things like this to make sure combatants aren't using anything they shouldn't on the field. Magical wards and things like that are used during the games, often to make sure people aren't disguising themselves or athletes are who they say they are. So just know that there could be some fail-safes there.
What do you guys think? If there are fail safes and oracles that are going to be able to see through me, I don't know if Phoenix will give me that ability.
I kind of like the mercenary idea. But let's just say we're mercenaries. We're hired gods.
But why would she have hired guards in her own city when she has a bunch of other guards? Like, she's a very important person.
Mm-hmm.
She pretty much has like a small army at her back.
That's a good
She
point.
basically does, but
How about
her
this?
husband
How
is
about you
essentially
say-
pulled rank, and he's got all of them right now, most of them.
How
So
about you
that's
say we've recently made a deal? No, that would look very suspicious if we say one of my businesses, let's just say the Atlas Association, for example, had made a little business offer, made a little contract with her.
By the way, I know, guys, we've been playing for a good 3 hours, and I normally have a break in the between games. We haven't had any of that. It's been a lot of role playing. I want to be
It's fine.
respectful of everyone's time and say, as we continue this on, do you guys want to go a little bit longer? Do you guys want to
fine.
start closing things out? I'm turning it's on the group on how you guys are feeling right now.
I'm good.
I'm fine to continue if you guys are.
So,
Okay,
Yeah.
so I also know it's a weekday, and I know people got work and stuff like that. So it's about 9 now.
I'm not working till 12, so I've still got time.
Okay.
I'm not working
Okay.
until 8. Plus, I wake up at 6 and go to bed at midnight pretty much every
Okay.
day.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
DJ, you good?
Atreus is going to put on his vestments. He's very religious. He has vestments with him, and he says, perhaps if we go in, giving the impression that we're here to maybe say farewell to your son and give him blessings of some sort. How do you think that would work?
Who do your vestments show appear to be Thassen, and my son, our house worships Iroas Heliod. We respect the other gods, but Iroas, Perforos, and Heliod are going to be icons, and a Triton representing that. I am not convinced. I will not
What
tell you
about
no, but I am
the-
not convinced.
What about a courier? A combat courier? I'm a human. I'm quite big for a human, so maybe I could do it. But again, I don't really look like it. I'll admit I look a bit out of place here.
Well, I could give him his last rites.
Sure. A combat carrier, it's worth a try. I figured that the easiest way would to just to put you in one of the cells and have one of my men give you the key so that you could leave at any time. But if you'd like to go in your way, which is a little bit more deceptive, have at it. Just
Well, I think if we can get in there with the key with him, if I look like him and there's two of them, that's a 50-50 shot that if two of us go in the different directions, 50-50 shot. That's more than we have already.
You look like my son Proxinos, and he's already being delivered there. So you'll show up and say, Are you saying if he's already there and you show up as him outside?
Or I'd show up as either, and no, that wouldn't really work. Maybe during the games cause a little bit of confusion, because how would we be able to get him out if he's still in the ring and he's going to be sentenced to death?
If anything, we might have to break him out before.
How about, I have, what's it called? Fog. I can cast a fog, maybe? I don't know.
I've got
that
Misty
work.
Step, but that only works with me. I don't suppose if I can hold him, he can teleport with me.
No, that wouldn't be.
Yeah.
But okay, what about this? So when we go with her plan to we get the key and stay in the thing and get put into the arena. Atreus casts Fog Cloud. I transform myself to look like him. We get Alcides or everybody else makes sure that he gets out of there. I fight to the best of my ability, and then we focus on me later. We focus on getting myself out of there later.
Yes, to add on to that, we could put you in some sort of vestments, the vestments that I have.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we do the switch, you can give the vestments over to him while you look like him, like a switch.
Yeah, we could do that. Maybe you have the bright purple you have the bright purple dye or the bright dyes, right? Create like some sort of bright coat that would make it look like that would be obvious that it is me after the fog cloud thing. Could we do that?
Okay. Cover his face.
Yep. Like maybe, or I am a big fan of purple. Bright purple cloak with a hood. Maybe with a little phoenix flare on it. Kind of go heavy into that gladiator kind of showman-esque kind of thing.
Okay, so all I would need to do is add that little thing onto my vestments, on the little phoenix thing onto the vestments. Okay.
All right, so she brings a couple soldiers. Well, we'll take you in, and I hope that works. But now that I'm thinking, I want to warn you is that if you break my son out before the games, I will warn that he will just be hunted. Versus my thoughts were to not break the honor of making him fight, but to make sure it is not one-sided. So what I really wanted from you is not necessarily to save him, but to even the odds, because just knowing my husband and the things I've seen him do recently, he will make sure that the game is not fair. Those like Jack said, the combatants are locked. If you enter the field, it would be cheating. But if you are below and taking on anyone that is about to go up onto the field before they can, the crowd doesn't see it. It's a show under the show, a show that allows my group, my son and his group, to do what they do best without your interference.
I see what you are. Okay.
But if you do decide to try to take, I am afraid then the my small military that my husband holds will just go after it. And you, if you do it this way, you can get in, you can get out, and no one will be the wiser. No one will even have seen your face.
That is a good plan, miss. And your culture seems very honor-bound. So I say we all leave the decision up to Alcides, seeing as he knows his culture and these people, what would go best in that way. I suggest we leave it to Alcides' best judgment.
I agree.
So for that, it would be best if we could. What would be most ideal is if we could replace some of the people in the bracket and rise to the top. That way we could defend him best. But if not, all of us, at least maybe one or two of us up top, while the rest deal with them from below.
Fair.
What do you guys think, Siljan, Mr. Atlas?
Jack's fine. Wasn't paying attention. So let's just go, whatever. Jack's just kind of standing back. He knows it's a delicate situation, but he's also a bit concerned about ruining his reputation in town. He's got a couple of deals here that he really doesn't want to have ruined. So I guess if they can help him out any subtle way without making a giant show of it, he's fine, as long as they don't expose themselves. As long as we can pretty much go in, help them out, make it fair, go off without really doing anything or really doing anything illegal without actually ruining the reputation as well.
And if anyone else will want to be on the top, trying to protect them.
Yeah.
And Siljan,
the thing about the thing you have to only know about that, Alcides, is if you do that, if you enter that field, you'll be a combatant that's not supposed to be there. so basically is what she's trying to keep you to do is from entering the actual arena at all. She's saying that if you guys go up and if like while they're watching the fight, unless you are supposed to be there and you look like, say you go up there, you look like a hoplite, right? You look like an Iroan hoplite. They're not going to be fighting other hoplites. They're going to be fighting because the way that game is going to look is it's going to be based on they're not the Militians, but there was an ancient civilization that fought over a woman who left another king for an Iroan king. So they sent wave after wave. So essentially like the barbarian horde, they're going to have that reenactment. So they're going to be dressed in those ways. So unless you could dress to look like, because if you would have to probably look like one of the enemy that they're fighting, because everyone knows what the group is going to be. It's going to be those 5 contestants and the one boy and his brother fighting in that above arena. So if Alcides just shows up in there as Alcides, that might be bad. I don't know.
So Calix could go there, but I don't think anybody else could. I don't know.
So we would want to switch the competitors that her son is going to fight, kind of, just to give him an edge. Is that?
I think I'm not explaining it right. So I think the competitors that go up in the first wave, she wants you to fight the other competitors below deck.
Oh, I
She
see.
wants you to stay completely out of sight. That way, no one sees you. Is what she's asking, to make it clear. Whether you change that is up to you. But what she is asking is that while because when you fight in an arena, there's like floorboards, and so when they rise up and they come into the arena, or when they open those gates and they go out, when the second group is preparing, they want you to take them out underground.
Okay.
Because you'll be in you're like, let's say you will be like gladiators in your cell, but you'll be able to leave that cell because you'll have the key. And you leave, you'll be able to engage below. So those guys never come out, right? And then if they never come out, they never fight them. That's what she's asking.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. Oh no, it's all good. Okay.
I know.
I think we can do that.
All right.
We can do that.
Let's take a quick break. Everybody refresh, get some water, everybody use the restroom, and then we will continue on a little bit.
I say go with the plan.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, we we did a pretty good job.
I really wasn't trying to. I don't like going against like the players' plans, but I guess I also realized I wasn't making it very clear the plan that she's asking, because I do understand the idea of like going out there. If you go out there, I'm gonna allow it. I just think that goes completely against. It's like, okay, here we are. Now there's a group going out there to protect them, and now you guys are all just gonna face the shit show. It's just gonna be like everyone fighting everything, but just fine. Could be cool.
I didn't understand quite how the game or how the enactment above was. I didn't know if it was like 2 armies facing. I didn't know it was like a small amount versus waves.
That's my fault. And actually, what's really happening here is you guys are colliding with a game that has happened before. So basically they've actually already had this fight, but then you guys are maybe having this like Inception level below fight. Yeah. So
I'm trying to, because like wouldn't they notice if waves weren't showing up?
They might. But if it all happens really fast, combat's like, in D&D, think about it, it's just a couple of minutes. It's a couple of minutes at that, and then you get out of dodge, and no one's the loser. Yeah.
And so all y'all get to be in cells. Alcides will just be one of the guards.
One of the guards. So.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I think we did some pretty good brainstorming, but yeah, that's probably a better plan. We don't want to be like on anyone's like extra radar, like
No, I didn't fully understand what he was going for.
Yeah, I personally know how this ends or how the entire thing goes.
Oh no.
So trying to stay quiet about that is like I already know everything.
Okay. Well,
So
I
you're
will
muted
say
now.
though that while I'm still setting a couple things up, just so that it doesn't seem too predictable, I know he does know, is that certain gods work in mysterious ways, and one particular god is able to move time around very easily, and that is Krufix. So,
Oh.
yeah.
Oh yeah, you're in charge of Crewfix, right?
Mhm. Actually,
Yeah, okay.
no. Nick, my buddy Nick is, but we already had a
Oh,
we had a
okay.
we had a meeting earlier this week about
Yeah.
what Krufix would do if certain things like started to be out of line or out of whack, and like,
Mhm.
so yeah, for sure. So
I was thinking about that. Or I was
except
trying
the
to,
railroading. At this point, except the railroading, don't fuck with time.
yeah. Okay. But yeah, I think we should just we should do it, but because I feel like that's what Calix would do, and I feel like that's one of the few things I feel like Alcides and Calix would actually be like, you know what, that's probably the best thing to do.
Yeah, I thought you would have been able to. I thought we were gonna have the chance to like kind of do both the plans of the actual guarding.
I know
and
that's what that was kind of like what I was trying to go for, but where it was
and
like,
then
well, there's a chance we could double dip because there's no like we could we did lie to him and we did tell him we bought you more time, but anyways, we spent too much time. It's all good.
Yeah.
sorry, what did you guys say we wanted to do?
Oh no. I was just like originally like I was fine with either of the plans, but like the lying to the lying to the king to buy more time, I was like, well, we could double dip, buy more time, and then well, how much time we could get, and then we could head back and then get him out of there.
Oh yeah.
no, that we're already past that point
Yeah.
because he already is there.
He already arrested him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boy, if only y'all took the piety from Phoenix, you know, we could have all had disguise self.
I don't lie. Also, weren't we gonna fight each other in the games?
Yeah, no, I was trying to. You're just Calix just doesn't. He's a warlock. He gets his ability from Phoenix. So you having similar and stronger abilities is just like.
Yeah, I think he was trying to get. I was trying to figure that out. So I was like, "Are you guys going to fight in the games?" But I don't think he wanted to fight you as Delica because, like,
Yeah,
you know,
no.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna like actually fight you as Delica. I would have
Yeah.
if I would have fought you as Delica, I would fight looking like Delica, but I would it would be using the abilities of Calix. A little bit more suspicious on what he's.
Yeah, I would have challenged Calix in the games.
Oh yeah.
I was
Good old
expecting
pancreation.
more like, okay, we're gonna go and like do all the different games, but it didn't seem like that was like you guys, you know, what you guys were looking for. So it's like, yeah, completely fine.
A lot of selling and buying stuff, but
Yeah, that makes sense.
I wasn't expecting Erroneous to get eliminated so soon.
I know.
I literally rolled a 10, so I guess
No.
maybe I should have had you guys roll.
I was kind of hoping. I was
Still working
kind
on
of
it.
hoping to be like, oh yes, Herodias. Also, how do you spell his name?
Let me see.
Like, is it like error?
It's
Like that's how I spell it. But that's
it's
how I-
erroneous. Yeah, ER.
Oh.
ERANO.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I spelled it with an A.
IUS. Sorry.
I've been spelling it like ERRONIUS, like error.
Okay,
Anyways.
yeah, like erroneous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you get all my direct messages?
Okay, I did not. So he's doing any military
I know
pay.
you kind of got
Yeah.
booted out a couple times. I don't 100% know.
Yeah. Okay, I see those now. Okay, so you'd have delivered that to your superior. And then, yes, I don't know what your military pay would be right now, but we'll say if how long are you gone on each one of your typically on your missions when you go, like before you come back? Or is it just kind of
typical deployments normally around 3 months?
Yeah. So 3 months pay. Say it'd be like 10 gold. Say they pay him like 150 gold.
Ooh. Alcides balling.
10 gold a week. And it's probably much higher because like they see him as since he doesn't go out with a unit, he goes off alone and he kind of brings back intel. It's more like spy pay, like
he is the most honest spy.
Yes. He just constantly bringing back information to them.
I'm also really surprised on how I was able to get into like something that required a ticket while pretending to be Alcides.
Yeah, because he knew him, so it was fun.
Okay.
I figured also it would be with it would just probably make James a little mad to know you were imitating him.
Oh yeah, no, that was kind of like
off the screen.
It was like, okay, my goal is just to like not to piss off Jameson, but to piss off Alcides.
Yeah, like that doesn't upset me if you transform to Alcides.
Good.
Like that's why when we had the opportunity to delay him,
yeah,
I was like, all fine with like, hey, Alcides himself would never lie, but he understood that to delay someone like that, if Alcides were to tell him anything, pretty much because of his reputation, it would be like, oh, this man pretty much never lies.
Yeah. Oh,
so that's why he gave you permission to transform into him to try to delay him. I would not lie. Kind of a loophole there.
I'd like to warn you that I am a spy. Like while he's trying to... Oh, okay.
I am the spy.
He's not a spy. He's just gathering intelligence called reconnaissance.
That's a spy.
No, it's not. A spy infiltrates. Alcides just walks up there and be like, hey, what's going on here?
Then you're just a really good spy.
You're worse than a spy. You're a traitor.
He's got the whole roll for intimidation. I mean, stealth.
Oh, yeah.
Just, you don't see me.
I wish I was better at intimidation. Or I was thinking about it. I'm like, I'm really good at everything except for intimidation.
I mean, I've got like alright intimidation, unless you count like +1 as alright. But I'd say my shittiest skill has to be like just intelligence. I never go for intelligence builds. I just, for some odd reason, none of the classes I enjoy typically involve intelligence. Unless you go for like artificer, but I played artificer like once.
Like if Calyx sadly dies, I'm gonna play an artificer.
Would that typically be allowed in THEROS? I know they're all Iroan, but would that be allowed in THEROS?
The way that I would run it is less of like the steampunk, but more of like magic infusing item, like the god of thunder. Bird. Yeah, and less of that, and more like actual magic, like the light, like lightning runes and things like that. So like I know you'd like cast cure wounds by literally just shocking somebody. That would be Yeah, that was kind of my idea with that, because we kind of need a healer.
I mean, I've got kind of heals, but I need to
we all have kind of heals except for me, so I kind of feel bad. But
yeah,
I've
got to punch you in order to heal you.
Yeah, I got straight up cure wounds. I just don't got many spell slots as a paladin.
I've got barely any key. I've got like 0 key points. I've got 3 slots for key points, so that's very low to work with. Very little to work with.
Don't worry. I intend on taking my next level as a paladin, so I'm at least level 3. So I think I get my
You get your oath.
Yeah, I get my oath.
So you get 1 more spell slot. I'm pretty sure.
I know. I'm trying to remember what level I get the aura.
Oh, I think at level 6.
Level
I want to
6.
say. I think.
That's some pretty early stuff for a paladin.
Well, you get lay on. You have lay on hands, so you have like
Yep.
10 HP.
5 per level.
Yeah.
Or should I just dip once more into fighter to get
Action surge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Action surge at like without extra attack is kind of like But oh my gosh, Malcolm's duplicating.
Oh.
There's 2 of them.
Yes.
There's Malcolm, there's Tabletop, and there's Gentleman Game Master.
Dear God,
It's not
there's 3
confusing
of
at
them.
Oh my gosh.
Aliens have got to him, I'm telling you.
Okay.
The conspiracy theory.
I also think there might be something a little off with one of the cameras, like when it was showing our minifigures, because on one of them, like the close-up one, all the red appeared gold.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's an epic filter. Makes everything more epic.
Oh, there you
Everything
go.
more shiny.
Wait, did any of you like have a feeling that it was Delica?
I had
I
no idea.
I kind of thought it was, but I was like, oh, she seems nicer. Like she's not as like grumpy as she was before.
I was like, you know what? I just kind of want to cause a little bit of chaos. And you said that you wanted to fight Delica. So I was like, I kind of want to make that happen.
Yeah, I thought her acting different was she was being more flirty with LCD. So I'm like, oh shit, I'm not trying to cuck Aronis here.
Poor Ronius. I feel bad for him a little bit, but not really. It was kind of funny.
I'm kind of proud of that catfish pun I made. I'm
No, that was
proud of it.
amazing. That was great.
I was pretty proud of that.
Perfect. Oh my.
At least
That
it
was
helped
amazing.
helped us find Erroneous.
Yeah, no, that I was like, I figured that out. I was thinking about it. I was like, wait, shoot.
Like, if this was
I was literally catfishing for him.
if
It
this was a
just-
story, that would be the title of the chapter. Just catfish. Like,
Yeah, because I wanted to see Erroneous, so I was thinking about it. I was like, wait, if Erroneous is with us, that means I brought him here. Yes. Okay, sweet.
Yeah, that's why I thought it was actually Delica, because like,
Yeah.
just an easy way for us to find Erroneous.
Yeah. No, Malcolm did a good job of that. And then, like, when you said honor, I'm just like, and Malcolm asked me, he was like, do you see this going anywhere? And I'm just like, yeah, no, no. So, anyways. And I was just like, okay, that's a great line to enter in on. Or it's a better line to enter in on. But the catfish pun, that was great.
You catfished LCDs out of a honorable duel. That's what you did.
Yes, I did. But,
oh, that's right too. Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
That's why he wants to go down there and kick ass. He's got fucking dueling blue ball.
Hey, so does Calix, but he's not looking for an honorable duel. He's just looking for a fight. I'm trying to think, like, how Calix would want to fight. Do you think more ranged or up close and personal?
In regards to what?
For combat. So, like, I'm either gonna have my sword and shield or my bow.
So I would
Can't
say,
I'd say ranged, honestly.
Yeah.
I feel like we've got a bunch of up close and personal guys. So
We
I'd say
do.
some range would be nice.
Okay. Yeah, because I kind of have to decide now, because it's like, or as we go down, because it's like, it's a action to change my weapon, and then it's also another action to equip the shield. So it's like I kind of want to decide beforehand.
I also admire your dedication of being a warlock and not spamming Eldritch Blast. So,
Yeah, no, that's a thank you.
That is pretty cool. Yeah, you definitely.
Yeah, no, I don't even have Eldritch
break the
Blast.
type.
I'm not even taking it. Freaking Friends and Minor Illusion. I haven't even used Friends yet. I really should.
So, I guess we can kind of pick up where you're marched across the city in the middle of the night. And they bring you down through this kind of gate. They walk you down along this hall. They bring you over here. Of course, Alcides is standing beside the guard, the one guard that Proxino's mother trusted, sent with you. As they both are putting you in, another guard standing by. Oh, another group. And the one next to Alcides goes, yeah, they're going to be going on the later games tomorrow. Some of the kind of last little skirmish type stuff, possibly for the next next day. So the guys, but the games will be over, and but there's going to be they have those the follow-ups that happen for the next few days for people that just stick around in the city. Nothing super spectacular. They're super low level. These guys, nothing to worry about. He goes, all right, yeah, good. He opens a cell. As you all are stepping inside, and then he hands almost like a key to Alcides. He goes, and this guy, Alcides, he's new. He's on watch tonight. All right, and so you don't have to worry about these guys. He goes, that's great, cool, because I was going to be going on my break soon anyway, and there you all. He does say, where's the other group? And he points down to this hall. He says basically they're down, they're in the back barracks on yada yada yada, but they're pretty much away from you. And he's like, okay. He says they'll be first thing up in the morning. They'll be bringing them out. It's gonna be big show. And it's like, okay. So it's like the wee hours of the morning right now. What do you do? How do you guys want to?
I want to make a comment before it cuts morning to be like,
yeah, absolutely.
Big show up there tomorrow. It's a shame we're stuck down here.
Would it be okay if we checked or mind if I check on what's his name on the or on what's his name? Proximos, right?
Or Proxinos, yes.
Yeah, Proxinos. Okay, so I'm gonna disguise self as a Crown Guard.
Okay.
And my goal would be to leave, walk out, and just check that he's there and see how he's doing.
Alcides, you're the guard. Are you gonna let him out? I mean, of course he's gonna look like a guard, but are you willing to let him just gotta go walking around?
I'm gonna look to where the other guards are, see if they're kind of paying attention or not.
Oh, hey, we got a response.
I'm sorry. Maybe I missed. Maybe I wasn't paying attention. You said, what'd you say, Alcides?
Pretty much, if the other guards aren't really paying attention, letting me doing
they're not.
Guard act, then I'll let him out.
So then he turns into, from this guy into a guard, and starts wandering the halls. As you do and go down through that door, you make a left, and at the end of the hall is a larger space, a pretty well kept, even though they're locked in, and you notice that one thing about a lot of the cells down here, they're not nice, but you also notice that their quarters are, other than the one you have, are a bit spacious, and there are even, they're furnished to the point where people have brought them like fresh grapes and food and stuff like that. But the only thing they don't have are their weapons. You see the group in there kind of talking to themselves. There's a large bronzed minotaur, but like bronze skin, like literally like metal skin minotaur. It almost looks like it moves like liquid. There's the young boy Proxinos. There is a satyr, look like a satyr fighter, and with a strange eye that almost like glistens kind of glows a bit red, almost like a part of his head has been reformed, like a blacksmith or someone worked on him. And there's also there's a Triton in there as well. And as you walk through, they look up at you at the guards. They kind of, the Minotaur almost like huffs, like he would kill you if he could. And Proxenos is sitting. You notice that Proxenos is laying in a corner, and just with his eyes closed, he's sleeping. He seems to be in a very deep sleep.
How far am I away from him?
He's right near the bars. Like you could almost reach out and grab his shoulder.
Okay. Are the guards watching me?
You're the only guard there right now. They've
I'm the only guard?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. I'm going to... Yeah, I'm going to cast...
Can I get a wisdom check from Siljan?
That's out of the blue. All right. 10.
10. Okay. So, Siljan, you're just kind of sitting in your cell and you're just thinking, and you're thinking about those guys you saw, the man with the void, the starry void for a face. And then back to you, Calix, as you're doing what again?
I'm going to try and whisper his... I'm a friend. Is he okay?
And they all look and they go, yeah. And then the small little satyr, she's a female satyr, she goes, yeah, he's always like that. He sleeps 16 hours a day.
But that's not normal.
No, it's not. But and by the way, this is actually true. One of the characters in this other party sleeps for 16 hours a day. Oh so they're always walking around with him sleeping. So he has to prepare. He goes into a very dark slumber, so he has to get his sleep for the...
Oh, I thought that was Proximos.
Proximos, that's Proximos who needs to sleep 16 hours a day.
Oh.
That's Proximos sleeping. She's telling you that. The little satyr is telling you that.
Okay. I was like, okay, we're here to help.
And then they kind of look at her like, what are you talking to the guard for? And then
I'm gonna cast. That won't really work. I'm gonna drop this guy's self, or I'm gonna cast this guy's self to look like the ultimate Phoenix worshiper guy with the leather and the metal, all that. Anyways, I'm here to help. We're gonna be taking care of we're gonna do what we can from below here, but make sure he gets out of here.
We'll and then the Minotaur looks over and goes, we will do that. And he blows a bunch of smoke out of his nose. You can, if you really want to help, you can open that cell.
I don't have the key. Anyways.
Well then, you do you, we'll do us.
What was I gonna say? Hopefully we see you all later. My name's Calix. Work for the Fleece Main Line Company, or Fleece Main Trading Company.
And then they look. We have no name. And then he puts his head down. As you can tell that they've been trying to figure it out for a very long time.
We are group 2.
Hopefully we come across each other again. Do what you can. We'll do what we can. All right, and then I'm going to change back in the guard and head back and relay all of that information to the rest of the group.
As this happens,
astounded about the bronze bull and all that.
And so you hear all that. He transformed back, and do you guys decide to turn in? Do you stay up late? Do you cook this? I imagine Alcides is keeping watch, so he's just awake with an alertness for you all's perspective. Anything that anyone else is thinking otherwise? No. Okay. Alcides, I know that you are. So then, yeah, time marches on, and that morning, it stays dark down here, but you watch the group. As one of the guards tells him, you're probably good to go. And another one walks this group down the hall to here. They lead them in upwards to this space where they all stand on this platform. And you hear this like this so heavy pulling of chains that are probably being drawn by both magic arcanic contraptions. And the platform begins to rise, floating on its own, sending them up. You can hear the crowd cheering, and the people going. And I imagine that maybe Alcides, I don't know if he is, but if he wants to be out there, I know that there's probably a want to be in that kind of like that limelight and that glory. And maybe even the night before, he dreamed that Iroas even told him, if the time comes to go, then just go. Whether that was a dream or wishful thinking, he doesn't quite know. But watching them ascend, getting to fight in the arena, is a spectacle in itself. And as it goes up and it starts to close, we start to hear the announcers. We start to hear the people constant roaring and shout, and fighting. And then
I'm gonna speak to the two guards that are down there.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, all right, so what I'm gonna say is, I'm sure you two don't want to be stuck down here, the two of you. I'm sure I could handle things by myself, as I am the new guy. So it wouldn't be unordinary for you to leave me here by myself while y'all get to enjoy the spectacle.
Yeah, fair enough. We're just getting the Minotaur that's going up right now first for gate 1, and then they bring in the Minotaur. He's like, "Get your hands off! You don't need to touch me. I'll be fine. Can't wait to rip these guys to shreds." And he walks over and stands on the platform, and he starts to get ushered up too. And you can already hear clanking and fighting going on as that one goes up. And then once that Minotaur's up, those two guys are like, "Sure, yeah, shoot you. We're pretty much done here for now. I think the others, going from other rooms down here anyway, so we're not worried about it." As they leave, leaving you all to your own devices, what are you all doing? They kind of walk down the hall and they go through the gate that down here.
I'm gonna lay my sword down and pray to Phoenix, pray for his protection.
Perception check?
Pray for his Oh, you want me to make a perception check?
Oh, actually, yeah, I want a perception check from everyone. And that's not what I'm supposed to give me. A perception check from everyone. And I do.
Oh, we're all down here?
You're all down there.
Got it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
And then for your prayer, can I have a wisdom check?
Hell yeah.
I have wisdom and not like charisma. 19 for the perception check.
Okay.
I got a nat 20. That's 23.
11 for wisdom.
21 for perception.
16.
I thought I rolled good.
What was that? 20 what?
21.
Nat
21.
20 for me. That's 23.
That's okay. I don't think there's anyone higher than that one. So on your perception, Jack, not only does it allow you to perceive what's happening, but it gives you moments to react. So those guards just went down through that gate, and the minute they cross the gate, you hear two very quick movements. Actually, no, you don't even hear like the sound of slicing. You hear them like talking. You can hear their voices kind of trailing down the hall, and you hear the clanging of the gate. And then before the gate locks, you hear them, "Hey, who are you?" And that's all you.
Okay. Shit. I don't suppose this was part of the plan.
No, Alcides didn't want to kill his fellow Acronians.
Okay, Jack's like, we need to move now.
Alcides, if what did you roll?
21.
21. So you'd have been right behind him. So you hear that. Would you go to the hall to see any further, or would you?
Pretty much toss the keys back to them.
Yep.
Be like, and pretty much say, I need to check this out. And
Go for it. I'll go retrieve the others.
Can I have a stealth check from you, Alcides, as you?
What's stealth?
So literally, you're standing in the hallway of this red cape. As
my friend.
as through this door right here in front of you, as you're approaching this hall, that you hear the stuff, the noise is down there, but in walks the biggest Leonin, bigger than Rakira, and just stands there, and he's like, "We were told there's some folks here we need to finish off. Guard, move out my way. Just need the little ones in the cell over there."
Does he point to my cell?
The cell, yeah. I'm sure you're not going to step aside being an Acroian hoplite and all of that victory and shit. So, and he licks his lips, kind of like a cat.
I don't suppose while this is going on, Jack can sort of try and unlock the door.
Yeah, so you guys are unlocking the door. Clink, the door swings open. As that happened, on the other side, a lean, slender Leonin walks in. She growls, her mane flowing down her back. She walks into the two double doors on the other side. So she's down there, one here, one there. And then Alcides hears something, whatever killed the guards down there, moving, something. Roll initiative.
Fellas, I don't suppose we can talk this over.
Dirty 20 for initiative.
Nice.
21.
right.
19 plus 2.
14.
13. I'm going like mid.
All right, so I heard dirty 20 from Calix. So you said that was a 21 then?
Yep.
Hold on here. Okay. Jack, what'd you get?
I got a 13.
Atris?
Wasn't anything good.
I got a 5.
5. All right.
Like
Kira, unfortunately, will not be in here. And then we're going to kind of... What I'll treat Rakira as is... Unless... he'll slow us down if someone runs him. So what is... Every round, every full round, someone can use a help action and just describe the way Rakira is helping you in the combat. Siljan, what'd you get?
I got a 14, but I might have to bail too.
Okay.
I have to get up early to do
Oh, I
some
hear you. No worries. I'll probably gonna play the first round and then end the game. So I plan on ending like by 10. But if you got to go, I completely understand. I'll probably just play through the first round and then we'll keep the fight wherever that is. If everyone wants to. If you need to go, completely understand. Alcides?
Yeah, 21.
Oh, he was a 21. What were you think, Alex?
Oh, 20.
20. Oh, you were 20.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to do one round of combat that will end tonight's session for anyone who wants to stick around. And kicking it off, Alcides. So you're right there.
Just good old... And clearly this man is threatening my comrades. I'm going to charge him and just stab-a-roo with the spear.
Stab-a-roo. All right. Go ahead and give me a attack.
Nat 20.
Oh.
Holy Jesus.
Smite.
Oh, of course that's a smite.
Ah, yes. Okay. He's not gonna survive till next session.
You definitely hit him. So
for my spear damage.
Imagine he gets max damage.
5 plus 6, that's 11. Plus 7.
So he like completely goes to swing. You go under, hit him, starts taking damage.
That was just from the spear. The smite damage.
Oh, spear goes in. So 17 from the spear. Oh yeah, he's not looking good off the spear alone.
Where's that smite damage at?
A 2d8?
Features and traits.
Oh no, just roll it. There's no smite damage thing, so you're gonna have to roll it yourself. So I think if it's a first level spell slot, it's gonna be 2d8, so double it to 48.
Alright, so 48. I only have 2d8, so 10 and 14. So 14 total.
14 total. How do you finish him? So as it stabs him in, as he hits him with them, how do you want to kill? How do you want to see that happen? Because he's done.
Oh my
That was
gosh.
just typical Alcides fashion. His red plume just engulfed in flames, and some of that flames was on his spear and just straight stab.
Be gone, foul beast.
He roars and he burns like down to just dust. And as that happens, the female Leon on that side goes, no, and lets out like a roar. And she starts running, even though it's not a turn, of course, like she goes into full-blown sprint. He's down. Is there anything else you can do? Otherwise, Alcides, it's Calic's turn.
Turn around and use the rest of my movement to go intercept.
So you moved up like 15. So 10, 15. So then you just be moved back another 15 that way, heading in the opposite direction. Then we move to Calix.
Okay. I
Kind of move this out of the way for the sake of it's just the doorway.
I'm gonna I'm gonna walk out.
Okay.
I'm going to point my hand and cast Hex on the female Leonin targeting. We're gonna go Dex checks.
Disadvantage on Dex checks.
Yep, disadvantage on Dex checks.
All right, she's hexed. As you cast out, you can hear the floorboard above you's rumbling. You hear people cheering. They almost like cheer on the same note as Alcides like took the first guy out, but a bit muffled. And there, yes. So now she's hexed. Is there anything else you want to do?
Then I'm gonna draw my hands back like I'm pulling a bow, and then the smoke's gonna come out to turn into the bow. And I'm gonna attack.
Go for it.
The longbow. Dirty 20 to hit.
It's gonna hit.
Okay, so that's
Jeez,
9 piercing damage, and then
as she's running, one of the blows lands into her arm.
14 damage total.
14 damage. So another 5. She takes it. The damage coursing through her, across her. Pain running through her right side. She's still up, still kicking, going into like this running stride. Calix, if you're done, and Siljan, you are up if you're still on. I don't. Yeah.
Yeah. So then I guess I'll step. So where is she at? She's farther down.
She's right. See where I'm pointing?
Yeah.
Right there at the hallway, and then you are right here inside this room. So you'd be stepping out at like 5 feet right there.
And where is the group of the other people? They're around the corner.
No, they're up. They're above you. They're like literally out in the arena. You guys are like in the barrack area, below the arena.
Right.
If you were to, that is the thing. That is the way up to the main arena.
And yeah, we know there seems to be another assassin coming.
Yeah.
Okay. But this looks like it's the only entrance straight up north is the only entrance into the arena.
This one is the only entrance from your sector. Yes, from where you guys are fighting, it is the area that you're supposed to be. You were like guarding. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll be right there. I'm gonna turn towards her and just cast Burning Hands.
All right, Burning Hands. Go ahead.
And then actually on this one, I thought that just by clicking it would roll.
Is it not? It should. It should when you click your attack and then you click your damage. Burning Hands isn't Burning Hands a save though? Don't I need to make a because you're doing it's a 15. So you have to like actually walk towards her to do Burning Hands, and it's a 15-foot cone. I actually have I don't know where I put it, but yeah, this is like I don't know if you're looking at your miniature here. If you have it pinned, you see that's what it would do. It does like a triangle, like 15-foot cone, and then she makes a dexterity save, right? So she'll do that.
Wonderful. She gets
disadvantage. Yes. So she rolls.
No, that's just on checks. She
rolls
regularly.
Not saves. Yeah. Okay.
That was that's exclusively for her hiding or.
Yeah, she fails though. So go ahead and give her your full damage for. Is that flame fires out? Yeah. So
that's horrible. I got a 1.
Oh.
I got a 6. Rolled a 1, a 2, and a 3.
Ooh.
6 total, you said? Okay, so she takes it. She's not looking so hot as she's like, she doesn't expect.
No pun intended.
All this damage hitting her. Is that all you got? But I'd say like she suddenly like it you pretty much catch her off her feet, blowing her back. She doesn't go prone because she's essentially a cat. She like backflips and lands on her feet, but she's burned across one side of her face, and her mane is all frazzled.
Okay. And then I'll just ready my shillelagh.
Okay. The staff begins to glow. As that happens, Jack Atlas.
Alrighty. Jack sort of steps out the cage to confront her. It's like, no. Let's not be hasty, as they say. Haste makes waste. He pulls out his Yawaka and basically takes a stab at her.
So he's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
He should be able to hit. This thing's got 10 reach. I guess not 5 reach.
It's a throw.
Yeah.
Surprised you're not trying out your claws. Yeah,
it's just a dagger. It does this. If anything, Yawaka does more damage.
So why you spend all that time making something you're not going to use?
I'm waiting till the poison.
Like, why even make stuff if you're not going to use it?
Fine, I'll use it.
No, I'm just fucking with you. Go ahead. No, go ahead. You're only going to use it for your unarmed strikes. I got it. But
I'm probably just going to capitalize it off the unarmed strikes.
That means when you spend a point, because when you spend a monk point, right, to do unarmed strike, you can't. How are you doing? You're fighting with your rocket. Oh, so I guess with the other hand, you're striking out with the unarmed strike.
Yeah, it's a dedicated weapon.
Okay.
I've got it as a dedicated weapon. Meaning I could
it's
do
like
thematically
how do you fight?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, not mechanical. I was kind of at first thinking like when you need to put that Yawaka away, but not really.
I've got it as my dedicated weapon, so I can basically get a bonus.
It kicks. You can kick.
Yeah.
Oh, and the kicks. Yeah, those count too. Yeah.
Yeah, he kicks.
Elbows, knees, headbutts.
Elbows, knees,
all unarmed.
He's gonna take a shot at her.
Fair.
That's not hitting. 12.
That does hit.
Oh, sweet. That's 7 piercing.
She takes it.
And then he is going to basically capitalize this.
I can't believe that hit, but it does hit.
He's like, all right, let's try out this gauntlet now. Gonna crack his knuckles and use Fury of Blows. So I don't suppose.
So you just dazed her, yeah. She's looking punch drunk.
I don't suppose I can add on the gauntlet's power onto the Fury of Blows as well, since it's technically a gauntlet. I don't suppose that can work. I can add on the gauntlet's damage whenever I use an unarmed strike.
That's basically what I was giving you. So it counts as the dagger strike instead of the unarmed damage. Yes.
Sweet.
It also changes instead of a normal punching bludgeoning, it would change it to piercing instead. So
works for me. Either way, it's still a 1d4.
Yep.
It's still a 1d4 piercing. So he's gonna use an unarmed strike again. Basically, Fury of Blows against this person. And let's do this. Basically, 2 dagger strikes.
Pretty much, if you don't miss, she's gonna probably die.
Yeah, 2 dagger strikes. So let's do this.
And I'm saying that because you can pretty much see how bad you guys have wrecked her at this point.
Oh, I'm taking that. That's 22. Yeah, that's 22 to hit. That's 6 piercing, max damage.
How do you kill her? Unless you don't want to kill her, but unless you want to knock her out. 'Cause I don't know if you all want
Point.
information from these people, but otherwise it's a
Actually, yeah, I think Jack's just gonna straight up. He realizes how badly damaged it is, and he's just gonna straight up backhand her with his gauntlet. Like,
she
I need you alive.
slaps, she drops to the ground.
It'd be such a waste to kill you.
Shallow breathing and all. But
crap, I used an unarmed strike, so crap, I used Fury of Blows as well. So technically, I've still got another hit. Crap.
Or you can just not Fury of Blows, get your key point back, and just do your basic extra unarmed.
Yeah, I guess I'll just use the extra unarmed strike. So I guess I'll just take that as an unarmed strike then. She's like, I need you alive. It'd be such a waste to kill you. I need you to talk. He just knocks her out. Just straight up backhands her. Like, no.
So that gate cracks, and something slithers its way, looking around into the room. And will I dash or?
I mean, does it know we've taken up both of its compatriots?
I think it's moving as quietly as possible, and so with that, it will hold an action. Atreus, you are up.
Atreus is just going to it's going to use his full movement to leave the room and get closer to this new creature.
What did I do with you? Oh no, sorry, Atreus, I don't think I put you on there. Where's your mini? When I moved everybody off the board. It's like minis walk around on their own. What do I do with the Triton? All right, I'm gonna find him, but I'm gonna. Yeah, here he is. Okay.
Oh.
So where are you gonna go? You're gonna go 30 towards the creature.
Yeah.
So unless you dash, you don't quite make it all the way. You make it right here to the middle. You can see where you're at.
I probably asked how far I moved, but it's a bit too late now.
And then I'll just ready I guess can I ready a dodge? Just in case an attack is coming.
You can take a dodge action.
You can just take a dodge action to give you give me disadvantage on the strikes against you.
Okay, I'll do that.
While that ends, which I said that ends our combat round because Rakira won't be fighting today, but I will say just like in that moment of tension, you all have a feeling that whatever is around that corner isn't quite as easy of a pushover as the two Leonin. And I will end on this in just that I'm just gonna like kind of flub it a little bit and say that Atreus, you do have, with no disadvantage, nothing's gonna happen to you. You have a moment just to like kind of slip along the hall, just to look around the corner there. And what you see, as you see it, you like almost see it out of the corner off of a reflection of a mirror, and you immediately stop and step back. A female figure slithers in. You can hear the snakes moving in her head, and you can see that she's drawn a bow, and her eyes, they try to catch you. You can see them kind of light up for a second. And maybe you've heard, whether you've ever met them, you've also heard that they often stalk the seas, the different islands. But this assassin, this Medusa, is coming. and we will end today's episode there.
Oh, goody! We've got to do a petrification. Lovely.
All right, good one. Good long game, guys. I know it was a lot of trying to figure out what to do next and whatever it was, but it was kind of fun scouring the city.
This is, I mean, maybe I can fit this as like I've got like medical tape in my healer's kit to bind me.
Yeah, but you guys are fighting the straight up Gorgon. You took her bodyguards out quick, so at least you have action economy all in your favor right there. So,
and now we've got a body to protect as well, because we want information, and I doubt we're gonna get much of the Gorgon about it trying to kill us.
Well, at least.
Question: is a Gorgon considered a aberration, celestial, elemental, fae, fiend, or undead?
None of those.
Okay.
Well, there goes unevenly good.
Wait, did you say monstrosity?
No.
You said no. Yeah, no.
Protection from evil and good.
Okay, yeah.
It is a monstrosity, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, goody.
It is a monstrosity, yeah, but not any of the others. No fiend, no devil, no deep, none of that stuff.
Oh, lovely.
No.
Yeah. Sorry for the extra long game. If you guys, had a have an early night or early morning, I do too. So, but I wanted to make sure we got enough time to kind of get whatever you guys wanted to get going. Or
No, I'm happy with this.
I will say you guys have a lot of ways to take it. You could even, you guys could even left the city early because now you've got you got the M4 kind of quest. You've got the palace at the end of the world, the thing going on with Phoenix.
I guess Jack just wants to report back. I think if anything, Jack's main priority is reporting back to the Minotaur and getting that connection settled.
Siljan doesn't I don't think, Mike, you as a player don't understand this, but what I was trying to convey is that what's happening to Siljan is he's starting to see omens from Krufix, because Krufix is at play to some degree in the surroundings of Akros. So if that helps.
There's some other things I wanted to do in the week's over to explain or to ask about that. Ask Calix about that, because I guess this guy is kind of trickery as well.
We can role play that right now if you want.
But
you guys can always
role play that while you're fighting the Gorgon.
And there's a lot of that kind of stuff too that can also be role played in Discord. You could also add it to I'm also happy you can always literally do flashbacks to downtime moments that have happened in the past with the party. You don't always have to think in literal time. I think with role play, I know it's hard to do, but if you think conceptually, there's a lot of fun things you can kind of do. You can be remember when we had that downtime for 2 weeks in THEROS? It's I think we talked about this, right? That's why I think a good game to play is that some people play on Fridays is called Blades in the Dark. Blades in the Dark is really cool because the whole concept of the game is medieval. You guys are all like assassins and stuff in this city, but before you go, instead of planning for an hour or two before you go on the mission, you just go on the mission. The DM forces to drop you in the mission, and then you make rolls. You do flashbacks while you're on the mission, and those flashbacks is where you make up what you planned for. So it's like you come
a heist movie.
Yeah, it's a heist movie. So you come to a gap in the road, and you're like, oh shoot, remember when we talked about bringing this contraption to the grappling hooks? And if you make a successful roll, you role play the scene, and then the grappling hook is there.
Oh yeah, no, we totally got it done. We totally got it done. Just
I kind of like that, because sometimes D&D just has you sitting around planning for just doing planning runs forever, but they can be fun,
Yeah.
So I was not bored by anything that I saw here tonight. So hopefully you guys weren't. I thought there was some really cool developments, and I like that. Alcides has a nice dress waiting for his mom once he gets out of this situation as well. So
Alcides makes it out of the situation.
If you remember right,
he
might be delivering a statue of Alcides to his mom.
If Calix makes it and Alcides doesn't, Calix is putting Alcides in that dress. Sadly, it's just gonna happen.
That's awful.
We've got some terrible news, but wonderful news as well. Good news is we have a very nice statue for you.
You guys gave me that was a tough game to run because it was a lot. It was going a lot of different ways. So I was just trying.
Sorry about that. In the future, I'll make it obvious to I'll make it obvious to the players that I'm doing something. But
yeah, because at one point there was you playing. You were Delica, and like I was trying to keep that secret, and then there was like the shopping that, and then there was like what's so funny is I really leaned heavily into setting up a lot of shopping scenarios we didn't even go down because like I just thought for some reason they would be important. But like,
I thought those could be a lot of shopping too. I was like,
no, because I literally get in trouble with other groups because I go like 4 or 5 episodes and people are like, dude, can we just get a shopping episode or can we get an episode where you get to like, and then I give a shopping episode there, and then the two business shoppers are like, nah, we don't really need anything. I'm like, what are y'all doing?
That's why I commissioned a dress at least.
Yeah.
Let him be a weaver for once.
I got a soda dress.
I was thinking about maybe making something that silver ring, but I'm like, hope it's passed.
All right, guys. I'll talk to you next game.
Yeah, thanks,
right.
Mike. Have
See
a good
you,
later.
See you, Mike. If you want to talk about all that, just message me on Discord.
Yeah, it's just those. I mean, I didn't know how it impacted the game. I mean, there's some other things I was hoping to do. Like, I don't know if there's a zoo in this place, to try and help me with the wild form, because you have to, I guess, see
the animals.
Or
that you could do, or even also in downtime of games, you can ask me like what animals you've come across on traveling.
Right.
If you message me, I'll let you know. Yeah, those are the kind of things I can like message you back and be like, yeah, you've seen this, you've seen a bear, you've seen all these animals and wildlife. I think in the games there probably would be. I imagine walking through the streets today, you would have saw wild animals in cages just in the marketplace, right? So them going into the games and stuff, maybe even a couple down in the barrack areas or under the Coliseum.
So I wanted to make sure I got that covered just for wild form later, then also to kind of focus on, because now I can be part of a druidic circle.
You've seen a camel, you've seen a tiger, you've seen ostrich, and you've seen an elephant.
All right.
I'll just say those. Yeah.
And then as far as the circle is, and I don't know, is anything fair game? I mean, there's something in Tasha's thing, a circle of, I think it's flame or fire.
Ooh, yeah, that one's so much fun. It's like healing.
But I don't know if
fair game. It's fair game. Yeah.
Okay. And then the last thing just for the group is I was also thinking, we're not going to haul this urn around everywhere. So I was thinking of sending it with Prius to wherever he goes. We find out where he goes and he just holds on to it for us as part of his sort of repayment.
You could.
And then we can just find him later if we want to go on that quest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you can find a place to store it here. Yeah, I'd say so that like this was sometimes you want a game where it's like a lot of downtime where you can plan a lot of these different things, and then sometimes you want to get right back into the mission or start the game, going somewhere. So I'd say for those things, when you guys know, okay, we're going to start the game and we're going to do this, then you can also set up that kind of stuff beforehand. Say, okay, Malcolm, here's you kind of did that before. So for example, I really like that this game was planned around what you guys sent me. So Jack sent me that message saying everything that you were going to be doing, and a lot of it I had confirmed through watching you guys and hearing and watching the end of the last game, so that seemed right. So if you ever want to, just know that my goal is to tailor what you're trying to do to what you're actually saying you're trying to do. And then again, of course, I'm going to throw other things in there, but you don't, they're not necessity. You don't, like, for example, you didn't have to help this lady, but also sometimes it kind of helps to have some hooks just because all of you are going in multiple directions and you don't necessarily know which one to take at a given time. So at least this way you take this hook, you might be able to, level up and get some more experience and then head out of here to wherever you're going next. So
get better at fighting as a team.
Yeah.
That's something that's something that we really need.
Yeah.
All right. Talk to you guys next time.
Later, Mike.
See ya.
Peace.
Yeah.
I should probably get going as well. It's a bit late.
Yeah, no, it was a longer one.
Yeah.
Yeah, good game, guys. That was fun.
Absolutely great game. Had a wonderful time. See you guys later.
Later, Shay.
Bye.
Yeah.
Later.
See ya.
Yeah, I'll probably work on add more backstory to my family. That way they can be more fleshed out characters if we visit.
Yeah. Let me know. The more you can add there, because I did read up on them and I know like the mother and the father, but I didn't really know much about them, so I don't want to make up too much, right? Overstep that, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. Yeah, you guys are
Yeah, I'll get occupations and basic personality traits.
okay.
Then you can make up whatever stories.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, man, that was. Whew, it is warm here tonight.
Your mom should be Xena.
The mother's the actual warrior in the family, not the father.
That's awesome.
Really? Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, later, guys.
Later, man.
Good game.
Thanks, man.
I'm honestly super hyped that you have Fog Cloud. I forgot about that. Anyways.
Yeah, I know it was weird. I was like, oh, I wonder how this is gonna be for Jameson, since I already told him a lot of like the other characters' arc, but not like they don't. I was like, but not like what's going on here. I was trying to.
This will be fun.
And that was another thing too, because I also realized by revealing a lot about their characters, I wasn't trying to make it about them. I was trying to just kind of, because of the timelines, you guys are just running parallel to what was going on while they were in the city. So that's definitely been a challenge to try to like figure out and retcon and make sure things work within everything. So yeah.
My question is, why is this Medusa assassin coming after our party?
Yeah.
Like, this was a secret mission.
Yep.
Not so secret.
I guess.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I got a lot of notes to take on tonight's episode, because there was just definitely a lot to take from you all. Also, if there's any of you that are really good note takers, sometimes in the middle of the game it's hard to take. So I feel like Calix are probably that guy. If you ever have any notes you want to send over to me to put in mine, it always could be helpful. If anything you got, I'll take it. Yep.
My notes would be useless. I write an extreme shorthand to where it's like 2 words. Like 3 paragraphs worth for me.
That's what I do, and then sometimes it works, but then every now and then I'll go back and be like, what is this? Like, what is this? I don't know. I know there was more to this. And then sometimes it's perfect. It's all I need is just like a few words, but yeah, I get that. No, I was bummed Ohan wasn't here, because I also had a whole other part of this for his character, and it was like, I think I even like leaned too much on Rakira tonight, and there was no. So all of that just got like thrown out of the window.
Well, like depending on what it is, it's like, well, you can just move that to if we go to Militus.
If we go to Militus, or you mean if we take the
Pride Lands?
The Pride Lands, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep, if we go that route.
Yeah. Well, I was just like, if you're just relying on like the stores being there.
Oh yeah,
then you can move that.
You can move that. Absolutely.
I don't know what specifically you're doing with that, but
no, it was good. A lot of yeah, man. So I'll probably stick around for like about 10 more minutes, and then I'll get off, because I gotta clean all this stuff up, because I got you guys ever heard of Dungeon in a Box?
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, I subscribe to them. It's like $35 a month or something like that, and they give you like a couple of like these skinny minis and a couple miniatures and some maps. And I just really I probably at a point where I don't need to subscribe to them anymore, but like I just like it's automatic. But they hit me up on Instagram, and they're like, they want a space to shoot like their miniatures, and they want to use someone's terrain. So they didn't want to rent a studio, so they're like, I'm gonna come by your house tomorrow and see your game room to see if we can shoot there. So I was like, sure. Since I work from home, I was like, you can go up there and check out the room, so they're supposed to come by tomorrow at 1, which means that I have to like clean all of this up, make it look super presentable tonight. Yeah, but yeah, man, it's yeah, this was interesting. I was waiting for you guys to. I didn't want it to get weird if like only 2 people want to be a part of the games, and then like the rest of the party had no interest in that. It got, and we did that in one other group where they just like rolled. There was a lot of kind of like almost like skill challenges, like rolling for checks and things to see how you did in Pancration versus, Dash and things like that. But
I tried getting everyone in the games. I tried getting Atreus into the swimming.
I could tell they were.
I wanted to make a joke about Stilgen turning into a horse for the chariot racing.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It literally,
No, I
so
would've been down
this
to go
group
for the
did the
game.
exact opposite. So the last group was literally like the Triton was like, I want to swim. Like the Centaur was like, I want to race. You know, it was like everybody wanted to do exactly what they wanted to do. And then the Satyr just wanted to cheer from the stands. Because the way I was like, with the way you guys were planning out your days and stuff, no one even once said, I'm going to visit the games and even watch like from the stands. So I was
Yeah,
like,
I was
okay,
trying to
that's
say that, but
not, I was like, I don't feel like, so if I'm ever, and then so that's, it's always a challenge, you know, like, and I remember, you know, I'll tell you that as a DM, that's if I'm pushing things too fast, just tell me to slow down. But I'm trying to keep a pace for everyone and hope that like some people, because like sometimes Mike is really quiet. I can't tell if Mike is bored or if he's just quiet. So there's moments where I'm like, okay, maybe he's just waiting for the rest of the party to wrap things up. So never think that I'm trying to rush you all. I'm just trying to figure out what everybody kind of wants to keep the story going. Yeah.
Well, I was just thinking, I was like, well, what am I gonna get from watching the games? Like at tops, getting more people to like that I can pretend to be. That was kind of like the only reason why I'd go to the games.
Would you go to the games? Yeah. No. So I don't think you guys didn't do anything wrong. It was.
I want to say I at least faced the one dude I arm wrestled in Pancration.
Yes, that was fun. There was a lot of, you know, it was a wacky episode, a lot of cool things. So there was an arm wrestling match. There was a ton of like, you know, back and forth with the merchants. There was, you know, Mike did figure out more about the amphora. He saw some weird visions with Krufix. You got a vision from Phoenix. Yeah. So I've been reading more on how the gods talk. And so what I've been telling everybody, and so it's not just you, if you've been waiting for Phoenix to show up and speak to you, I've been telling everybody at low levels, because I think it says in the book, there's a spell you need. Is it augury? It's a spell that most people use to actually kind of like commune. And then like you also, when you read the book, they talk about certain places that you almost need to go in the world to commune with the gods almost firsthand. So I try to make it more omen-like. Now I know your backstory, Calix. I forgot. I know you have a closer, but I almost imagine it's almost like it's a distance. You know, there's a distance, and there could be other factors at play that are creating that distance that you don't know about. So,
well, like if you need it to be distant, the way that, or like the two ways that I saw the relationship or thought of the relationship was like either he was very integral at like, and he was like, you know what would really piss Erebos off right now if I did that, if I did this and was more acting through me, and it was less of me doing it and more him. And just and then he
I read that. Yep.
Yeah. Here's your sword, or here's your mask. Here's a sword. Have a good time.
Yeah.
Just kind of letting me go, but Calix kind of wanting that a closer relationship.
Yeah. So I'll say that vision that you saw today is about getting that closer relationship. It's about getting it back. It's about getting back in touch with that.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
And then also I was thinking about the undead kind of thing. Would it, if I get like, could I be considered undead if I get all the disadvantages of being undead? Like how like cure wounds wouldn't affect me and things like that, because
honestly, you'd have to lean full into that. Like,
yeah, no,
and actually Alcides, if Alcides has done channel divinity, he would know something's wrong.
He does. He does. That's
so
why
Alcides should know. Like,
but you have to remember, because I described my channel divinity different. Because I said it's a gut feeling.
Oh,
like, it's
okay,
not like an actual divination.
Right. I
was like, I've been in sort of crypts and stuff before. I feel like there might be something over here.
Right. So I think you're starting to get there. I think it's like maybe where you could play it is Calix makes you extremely uncomfortable. Like just the overall fascination with Phoenix. Sometimes you even just wonder what's up with that. You know, the constant
his dishonesty has done that enough.
The constant shifting. I think the constant shifting would make people wonder if they've even ever seen the real him, right? Like when especially you with that channel divinity would be like, what's up with this guy? So I think the rest of the party is literally just going with the flow. They don't even care. Yeah. Like they're just like literally trusting like whatever at this point. So yeah.
That's also why I reported him specifically to the superiors as well. Like,
yes.
Hey, like this dude.
Speaking of, thank you for reminding me.
Current mission is watch this dude.
You guys have to remind me because a lot of times I lose these chats. So you saying that is good because I want to copy it so I can put it in my notes. So yes, let me do that now.
Yeah, I want to write that down, but I know that I'll like if I write it down, then I'm like, wait, did he actually say that? Did he say that to Calix?
Right.
Did he say that's the plan?
Yeah, I know.
So I'm not gonna write that down, sadly. But anyways.
Because based on the information I gave, the logical step would be, well, you're already in this group. You have their trust for the most part. So
Okay.
just watch over that dude in particular.
And then Calix is not going to believe anything's up. He's not going to think anybody's up because nobody could lie better than Calix can.
So Alcides doesn't lie, so it's not a problem.
Fair enough. Or nobody could manipulate Calix the way Calix manipulates people. Put it that way. Anyways, that's
And
kind
then
of
that also
gave
gives
you your
Alcides a
military
reason
pay.
to stay with the party instead of just, oh, you made it to Akros, bye now.
I'm trying to get it so that the party always knows something like is probably up with Calix. So I could be like, instead of DMing you, Malcolm, I could just be like, oh, Calix is going to do this to try and screw with the party. And
Yeah.
just be like, please don't please role play your characters, not your player. Or not
Gotcha.
you,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. So I'm trying to get to that point.
I think we could get to that point. I think they're starting to get.
I think we can get there pretty soon. That's partially one of the reasons why I was like, if I impersonate Delica, then they're gonna be like, if I can't see Calix, he's probably who I'm talking to. That's kind of the I just want that kind of thing where I can be more public about that.
Well, you had me fooled as both LCDs and a player for that Delica one.
Yeah,
that
completely.
was-
I was waiting for somebody to go, where's Calix? Has Calix come back?
Same here.
Like, why is Calix still gone?
He was partying with satyrs.
Yeah.
Fair
Because
enough.
I literally tried to get, I was like, are you going to come back now? And he's like, oh, I thought that was the giveaway. He's like, can you check your message? And
Yeah,
as soon as I
same
checked the
here.
message, and I was like, oh, suddenly Delica shows up.
Yeah. Mhm. You weren't sudden about that though. I was thinking about it. I was like, okay, you dealt with one thing, and that I was like, okay, and then you had Delica come.
Yeah,
was
I kind of like.
that was some really good.
I was like, I'm gonna go back to
DMing
this
right there.
person, then I'm gonna come back and say Delica shows up. Then to throw him off a little further, I'm gonna go to somebody else's. Then I'm gonna have Ironis show up and be like,
Mhm,
on.
mhm.
And then I imagine then that would make you be like, oh God, now like this guy's back. So then
Yeah,
I was kind of like the DM throwing a little. You were throwing something at your party, and I was throwing Ironis at you.
Yeah, no, that was
now
like-
hitting
that
on
was-
you because you now have Delica.
That's great. Still, the thing that still cracks me up is the catfish comment. I'm just.
Oh,
like,
that was good. That was good. Yeah.
But my goal is to get Calix as powerful, just to be able to Bugs Bunny anybody, just to be the person. That's kind of the goal.
Yeah.
Just professional tomfuckery. Just.
Side note, will Erroneous be useful in combat in the future, or should we just kind of
Yeah, he
Maybe
could be.
train on his
No,
own.
I think okay, I'm gonna go off of your lead. So when you last saw Ronius before you went down here in the dungeons, what would you have told him? Maybe you can tell these are the things you could work on with me on the side, like, okay,
Yeah.
here's what I want to tell Erroneous to do next, right? Or you could say over those 2 or 3 weeks that we were just kind of in flux, this is what I told Erroneous to do. And then maybe what I'll probably do is instead of doing roles, I'll like make him a commoner to like bandit stats, from bandit stats to thug stats, from thug stats to thug captain stats, go with that till he becomes like a champion, right? But like he has to stick around long enough, right? If he just keeps sticking around, and then you might, when he's strong enough, and I tell you strong enough, then maybe you can take him on missions and use him as NPCs. Because I was even getting to that with the slavers, is that kind of like an old D&D, you used to, if you were going to a dungeon and you needed more people, you would like go pay to have people go with you, like a bunch of meat shields. Not that you would want to do that to Erroneous, but you could kind of treat him like a person an NPC that you can use in the future or call on when you're going on the mission, and once he gets strong enough, right? So yeah, I was treating him that way, and I upped his dex from the thing, but I still rolled poorly, so he just failed the race. I should have had someone else roll for the race, because I gave him a +2 on I gave him a +2 from the time he's traveling on his dex, but I was like, nah, just because I imagine he's not necessarily a super duper athlete yet. So the people that have come from miles around, I figured they're gonna be amazing. I think the average level 3 or 4 person is a very special person in this world already. They're like you kind of are like the cream of the, you're at very high levels of what you do. And then I think like champions start, like when God starts showing up to talk to you and sing you on missions and stuff. I think when you get to like level, I don't know, 5 and up, maybe 6, 7 is where you start becoming champion level like heroes. And I think like God level is anything past 10 to 15, or more. I doubt this campaign, this campaign can go as long as people want to, because you might get to a point where you guys are satisfied, where it gets to an ending where you're like, it closes out all your stories and maybe you're done, or it could get to the point where you're going to be level, 15 or 16 fighting fucking hydras and crazy, and getting close to the gods themselves, and being off in crazy temples and stuff like that. Of course, that's what I'd like to, fighting krakens and all kind of crazy shit. So that's what
a big goal
yeah
of Calyx would be to destroy Erebos's whip.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And there will be a point where I will switch to, I've told everyone I'm going to switch to milestoning. There's always a point in all my campaigns where I switch to milestoning, just because there's a point where XP slows you down so much that unless we were playing every week, right? Unless you're playing every week for 3 hours, you'll never get anywhere. So probably after like 5 or 6, we'll probably start just milestoning when you guys do really important, powerful things, or you accomplish a dungeon, you probably start leveling you guys up. So that'll start seeming quicker. That's how I do with my Storm King's Thunder games on their every other Wednesdays. They usually level up every 2 to 3 episodes, depending on how slow or how fast they move. So, yeah.
What is Iroas's special thing?
For me, it's in terms of like, his special, like for piety, like once you get to
like his weapon, because I know Heliod has a spear.
Do they have?
I think it's a spear.
He has a spear, but I don't know if he has a special. Does he have a weapon in the book? Let me see.
No, because I know it's only the monocolored gods have the weapon. The actual weapon.
They don't. Yeah,
I know Phoenix's weapon is a dagger. Pretty sure,
because Erebos's whip is in there. Mogus is. It's only like 5 of them, right? So it's like
Erebos, Heliod, Nylea, Thassa, and
Nyla.
Nylea.
Nyla. Man, if I get a shield of Iros and a spear of Heliod, just rocking that shit. Oh
my god,
that'll be end game stuff.
Yeah, if you guys actually get their weapons from the gods, then that'd be crazy.
Just 10.
That would be crazy. Yeah,
also, I did want to participate in the Ironian games just for some 1v1s, because that's how you do get piety with Iros.
Mm-hmm.
That's also why I challenged Delica to a 1v1. Because
I would have 1v1. That would be great. Wait, what?
I will say that I think that Iroas in this game has probably noticed your hunger for that. So you might be getting some piety from Iroas. Yeah.
Okay. Would I have gotten any piety from Phoenix from the screwing around with Erroneous?
Yeah, I'd give you a piety for that.
I feel like that just the catfishing alone is that's the main reason why.
Yep.
he's kind of blew his load on that Leonian right away.
Yeah. That's also why I gave you that Iroas comment at the end, where you had that dream. That was like you had the dream the night before as the fight was happening, that Iroas was like, if you want to go up there, if you want the glory, go for it, whether you do that or not. So that was kind of me saying like Iroas is kind of watching what you do next. So yeah. Cool. All right, guys, I'm gonna turn in, but always a fun time. Glad you guys stuck around for a little bit. Sorry for just wanted to give you guys enough time to get more game in.
You're all good.
So
thank you.
Yeah, man. You guys have a good one, and I'll see you guys in. Actually, so I think I'm gonna see you. I already posted the games up, so I'm not gonna see you this weekend because of 4th of July. But I'm at the other group, so they pushed their game back because of 4th of July. They didn't want to play this coming Saturday, so I kept you. So I did not push them to the next. So you guys are on your normal day next on whatever that day that is. And then did I do you guys 2 weeks in a row, or is it just you guys? Yeah, I think I'll look at it, but yeah, everything's set up. So you guys got your there's 2 games already set for this month, this coming month of July. So yeah, I'm excited. We'll do it. And I got to point, man, you guys have a raptor now.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's so sick.
Yeah, because I'll give you that stats for that next game because that has some abilities and stuff too.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. All right, folks.
Yeah, I'm definitely not
Alrighty.
going to use that raptor for any of my messaging.
Yeah,
Yeah, true.
I don't trust that slaver dude.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't use it for your own stuff. But all right, folks. Later.
Alrighty. See ya.
Peace.
Thank you.
No problem.